Hello everyone, and welcome to the Battle of Kirin Season 3. Once again, we're here with a Catfood Bowl Major. The commentary team for Reach Mahjong of New York today is myself, Tips and Tricks, an English Reachy streamer and commentator. You can find me usually streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/tipsandtricks. Alongside me, the great Irie. Hi Irie, how you doing?
Hi everyone! I am also a English Reaching Mahjong streamer, Magical Mahjong Girl ID. You can find me over at twitch.tv/IronTV, and I'm so excited to be casting another tournament for you guys once again.
As well as Tenhote. What's up, Tenhote?
Hello everybody, I'm Tenhote. I'm so excited to be here. It's an honor to be here as always. I'm an English Reachy content creator and commentator. You can find me at youtube.com/@Tenhote, where I do things like video essays on Mahjong anime.
He's got great long form content, so make sure to check that out when you get the chance. Of course, we would be remiss to exclude our head judge, making sure the players play fairly, making sure the tournament is running well. We've got Luke Morgan of the Saikoisen Japan Pro Mahjong Association. He runs a Reachy-based website at iPlayReachy.com, which has articles as well as current events on Reachy all around the world. I was going to say that he's a new member of the Pro Association, but I guess it has been over a year now, I think, since he's been inducted. So congratulations, Luke. And let's hope for a great tournament today, because today we have just as amazing, just as strong players competing in our tournament. We've got the best of the best from the English server, the world server here. So let's get underway with our first player. Our first player here is Cristando, the first place player for the Catfood Bowl Minor Tumbling Red. One of the rare Celestials on the EN server. There are quite a few now. There's over 10. But one of the first, actually, Cristando. Their favorite Yaku is 9 Gates, the lucky tile right there, the 3 of bamboos, the 3-syllable. Been playing Mahjong for 4 years. And their motto is always push extremely aggressively. Our second player, also another Celestial. I'm a cow, and this cow has made it all the way to the top ranks of the Mahjong Soul echelon here. Their favorite Yaku is all honors, so that's another Yakuman Yaku. Lucky tile is the 9 of circles. They've also been playing for 4 years, and their personal motto is Muro. I think that's very fitting. Next, we've got Red Panda, the Red Panda Master, the winner of the Sweet Wonders Catfood Bowl Minor. Saint 2 rank, and their favorite Yaku is Chanta, the half outside hand, like those 1, 2, 3s and 7, 8, 9s. Very undervalued hand, it feels like, in a lot of cases. Their lucky tile is the 1 of bamboos, the bird, the peacock, the sparrow. A lot of names for it, and a lot of different ways to draw it as well. I think with that specific tile, must have the most different variations in all the different tiles. You can actually see a number of those different variations in some of the new tile sets, the tile faces that have been released in Mahjong Soul. Most recent one being the fish for our current event, the High Seas Expedition. And I really like this new set. We are going to be using the classic tile sets for clarity on the tournament livestream, but I do like the new fish tile set. And Red Panda has been playing for 5 years, and their personal motto is one word: flow. So we'll see if their flow can get them to victory here in today's tournament. Of course, that's only 3 players. So last but not least, a fan favorite, a veteran of the Mahjong Soul tournament circuit. We've got Bob Brick. Bob Brick, second place in the Sweet Wonders Catfood Bowl Minor. They are Saint 1, and while Red Panda likes the half outside hand, Bob Brick does not want any of those honors in there. Goes for the Junchan, the fully outside hand. His lucky tile is the White Dragon, that Haku there, pure blank tile, and they've been playing Mahjong for 6 years. And I'm sure if you've seen Bob Brick on stream before, you'll know Bob Brick's favorite emote is Chiori Face. And his motto is to use your emote on cooldown. Emote on cooldown. And so that's Bob Brick for you. We have a very straightforward tournament today. In terms of our format, it's pretty simple. We're going to be playing 3 Southwind or Hanchan matches in total, and we'll have a 10-minute break between each matches. Don't worry, because in that break, we'll be bringing to you guys some extra content that should be pretty exciting to tide you over as our players take a cool down, take a little breath in between their matches, because they've got to calculate their scores, think about the next match, and sometimes just get a breather. Sometimes the Mahjong is that intense, the decisions get that tough. And the final score, simply put, is the total score from all 3 matches. If 2 players end up with the exact same score, the tiebreaker is going to be the most first places, the most second places, then the most third places, and from there are a few other tiebreakers, but I'd have to get into the weeds to go over all of those. We do have a list here of all of our rules for the tournament. So we've got the standard 5 + 20 seconds for thinking time that you're used to. And as you note, for Bob Brick, emotes are on. We do start with 30,000 points here. And the UMA, or the position points, are 15.5. It will be a red 5 tournament, so we do have 3 red 5s. We do not have Kiriage Mangan though. And one of the most interesting things here is, while we still have all the regular Dora, we also have the double and triple Ron. You can see head bump is off. And so that means if somebody deals into double Ron, very rare for tournament rule set, but if somebody deals into a double Ron or a triple Ron, we will actually see that happen. And in order to, I suppose, limit the Yakuman, each hand is limited to 1 Yakuman at most. So double Yakuman and multiple Yakuman are both off for this tournament. Whew. Now, with that out of the way, that's quite a mouthful. You can see it all on screen there if you're interested in any of the finer details. Let's see what the players are playing for. So, first place gets that permanent title. That's actually interesting. I'm not sure how many times the tournaments have released a permanent title for the winner of the tournament. A lot of times the title is temporary until the tournament comes around again and then the new champion gets the title. But because this title is season based, you can see that Kirin S3. Whoever wins this match will have that tournament title forever, for the duration of Mahjong Soul, as well as the physical trophy, which we've seen pictures of. You can definitely check out the Mahjong Soul social media on Facebook, X, and Discord to find pictures of that beautiful physical trophy for all of our previous tournaments. They'll also be going home with a $300 Amazon e-gift card and 9,000 Jade. You know, currently Li Yang is on the banner, one of the limited time characters, one of the very special ones, with 2 animated outfits actually, one from the store and one just for bonding her. Second place, $150 Amazon e-gift card and 5,400 Jade. Third place, 100 Amazon e-gift card and 3,600 Jade. And fourth place will be a $70 Amazon e-gift card and 1,800 Jade. Of course, we will also have prizes for the viewers at home. So make sure to stick around and pay attention. As I mentioned, we're going to be filling in those intermissions with content. Some of that is going to be lucky draw, and some of that is going to be gift codes. So test your luck. Keep watching intently. And let's get ready for some good mahjong, because our first game is underway. All right, so our first game here, it will be myself and Tenhote on commentary here. We can see all of our players getting started. Most hands look pretty straightforward. Red Panda going for a pinfu. It's pretty well formed right off the bat. Only 5 discards in. You can see Bobrick with his classic emotes across the table. Cal has drawn a really good red Dora here, and so he's thinking maybe even 4, 5, 6 mixed triples. Bobrick going for the half flush for sure. And then on the left, Kristan has a bit of a messy hand, but it is 1 away from Tenpai. Richie only though. So one thing new for this, I guess, tournament is that Tenhote has come and compiled a number of statistics about our characters. So Tenhote, why don't you fill us in a little bit about the most interesting things you've learned?
Absolutely. So before we go in and say anything, right now in the moment, Bobrick is in Tenpai for the 3 of Bamboo. There are a lot of people in chat and in the Mahjong world that really believe in the 3 of Bamboo. Really into that.
That's right.
As a lucky tile.
We saw it was
but they're gonna go ahead
Kristan's
and
favorite.
palm the north wind here and upgrade the weight to the 2 and the 3. So something new that was added to Mahjong Soul recently is that you can actually see the number of tiles that they're waiting on. So there's 5 possible tiles left for Bobrick to win on here. One of which is the Dora, which could be a pretty explosive hand for Bobrick here, should they find that Dora. But some of the things that we've found with some of these players, since we're talking about Bobrick, typically Bobrick is opening their hand or staying in Tenpai without calling Richie. So there's a lot of moments where you might think maybe Bobrick isn't ready to win, and then you just get hit with a huge hand out of nowhere. And so that's one of the big things to look out for with Bobrick, and it's something that we're seeing right now. So we'll see if any of these tiles come out from other players or what Imacow's thinking here with this 3 of Bamboo.
Yeah, actually that's a very interesting 5 of Bamboo discard. Maybe because Red Panda discarded it 4 turns earlier, but a lot of times you might not be thinking that the 5 is safer than the 2 or the 3, and some of us would have ended up dealing into Bobrick there.
If this ends up being a Richie for Red Panda, they might drop the 2 of Bamboo. No, they decide on a different thing here.
Yeah,
so
Dora.
They're also going to win on the 2 of Bamboo for the Dora.
2 of Bamboo, just so dangerous when Bobrick is going for fairly obvious half flush. I mean, being the Dora, it's doubly valuable, I suppose. And of course, Red Panda was Furiten on the 147 right there. That is, they could not win off other players. Yeah, Red Panda not even thinking about that, just going in with the red 5 because the 5 has been discarded repeatedly. Oh, Bobrick switched the weight!
Oh, wow. But it deals in, and it's going to be Red Panda finding the win here for, what is it? Pure Straight Dora 2, which is 4 and 40. A dealer Mongon for 12,000 points. Starting off super, super strong is Red Panda. A player that tends to have defensive qualities, keeping the hand closed. One of the players with the lowest deal-in rates and busting rates as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how this playstyle comes to fruition here, especially now that Red Panda has a lead.
Yeah, I mean, Bobrick there, the two of Bamboos, it is still the Dora no matter what, the Tuso right there. And even if you're the one doing the half flush, other people can still be waiting for it. Of course, nobody had opened or reached, so it was a little bit of a surprise attack from Red Panda. But that late in the game, you've always got to be careful. Bobrick's 4-sided weight was just too juicy for him to hold the Dora. Because the Dora was still a 2-sided weight. It was 2-so and 3-so. At first it was just 3-so, but Bobrick was able to improve it. But seeing a 4-sided weight, he just jumped on it, and unfortunately Red Panda had been holding the Dora. Because if Red Panda had jumped on it like that when Bobrick was Tenpai, it would have been Red Panda on the receiving end of a Mangan.
Yes, but now looking at the hands of all the different players, there's a few hands that are going to be stuck for a little bit. I'm a cow with a few pairs in their hand, and they've dropped the 7 to get rid of one of them, but not looking particularly fast in this current state. But for now, Red Panda is making good progress, might find a Ricci by the second row, and Bobrick is going to be opening with the Green Dragon to try and accelerate their hand with Green Dragon and the Red 5, perhaps looking to push into a half flush. But matching that speed is Red Panda opening their hand on a rare occasion, according to the stats.
Now this 2-so here, 2 of bamboos, just perfect for Bobrick to switch to the half flush. And it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a deja vu. Hopefully Bobrick will be looking for a more favorable outcome for himself on this one instead of dealing in. Hopefully he can win on this one for for his Chiori watermelon emoting self. I'm a cow does collect another Dora though, but it's going to be hard to use. Not sure if I'm a cow is going to be able to finish that hand. Bobrick 1 away from Tenpai. Could call this for Tenpai. Option is there. Bobrick is really thinking about it. The call is made. Couple options for Tenpai. Which one do you want to take, Bobrick? I'm gonna go with the 3-so and 8-so. 3 of bamboos, 8 of bamboos. The triplet weight, looking to make a triplet of 3 or 8. Red Panda.
Yeah, it's not a bad weight.
Yeah, Red Panda here stuck with that Dora on the end again. Would be really nice for Red Panda to get a 3 of dots here, 3 of circles. That'll work. But it is no Yaku. So Red Panda's not going to go Tenpai with no Yaku here. Trying to actually cash in the Doras. There are still 30 tiles to go, so it does kind of make sense that you still go for the win because a draw is still pretty far away.
Important to note that as of now, Red Panda is looking like they could end up in Furry 10 should they be able to cheese something out from like the 2-3-4 of circles here or something like that, because they've already dropped the 9 of characters for that 7-8 block in their hand. So it might be tough for Red Panda to find this win, especially with the early call of the triplet of 8s. So we'll have to see how that goes. Bobrick still in Tenpai, still looking for those 3 tiles. Unlikely to come out. And now we have to see. Yes, it will be the Furry 10 Tenpai for Red Panda.
That's right. 2 of these 6s are remaining in the wall. So we can see 2 of Kristan's 1-4 dots. 1-4 pin also left in the wall. So actually, Bobrick has the most tiles remaining in the wall. You wouldn't think it just by looking at the weights, but Bobrick's is the most available to Sumo.
Yeah, so we'll see if there's any change in weight here for Bobrick, and there is, switching to the 6 and the 9 of bamboo. Kristan entering Ricci on the 1 and 4. Not too many tiles available, but you could see Bobrick push this for the half flush, and they do. So that's going to be a run from Kristan.
Yep, that's a brutal draw there. The Dora, well, the 4 pin is close to the Dora, and indeed Kristan was using the Dora in his hand. Connects on that 2-3-4, so not quite the dealer Mangan that Bobrick dealt into in East 1, but it is still a Mangan. And so Bobrick is now 20,000 points down with 2 different Mangans that he's dealt into. And you can see Chiori is wearing the 20,000 points on her face there. I'm a cow responding with the fascinating. We've got a little
You gotta love
banter.
this. The high level emote banter is what we came to see, honestly.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
You look through your 9 emotes. If you bond them, it can go up to 12. You know, you have some outfits. Some characters have more outfits than the others, which means they usually have more emotes than the others as well. You know, if your character doesn't have enough outfits, make sure to let Yostar know that you want your character to get more outfits, so they hear your cries. I've been to a lot of streams, talked with a lot of players, and not all of them like the favorite characters. I know that it's a year ago now, not quite a year, but on the most recent anniversary stream, Yuyagi, after Ichihime and Miki Nikaido, which are the 2 characters that are on every account, Yuyagi was the most popular character. And the Mahjong Soul roster has just been expanding.
Yes, but fun fact today is Yuyagi's birthday. So if you go on the fake character, it's her birthday. So if you go on Mahjong Soul social media, there's actually a very nice piece of fan art that they shared. So good to bring up Yuyagi during the stream for that. Red Panda is going to be committing to a very nice and potentially valuable hand in kind of 2 different directions here. We could see the 1-2-3 mixed triple sequence along with the green that's already open, or what it looks like now could be switching to a half flush, maybe a full straight, depending on the draws. There's a lot of options for Red Panda here. For the other hands, I'm a Cow has a hand that's starting to come together. But across the way, Chrisstand is looking like they're getting closer and closer to Tenpai.
Yeah, Bobrick, the one you didn't mention, is also 1 away from Tenpai. Bobrick has a lot of different potential weights here, but none of them give Yaku. So Bobrick, who is known for the highest rate of Damaten, Yamiten, Shadow Tenpai, essentially being Tenpai without calling reach or calling any tiles, will have to reach in this case. Bobrick will have to take the reach method if he wants to win this hand. And considering he's 20,000 points down right now, I think he probably would anyway. Although he might want to wait for that full straight, that Ikitsukan. But I know you mentioned Red Panda's hand on the left. With the Dora in hand, it might be hard to get rid of that 1-3 pin. Red Panda also can just go for a green dragon only, since he did call the green dragon. That is an option. And I think with this extra 3 of characters in hand, he's really thinking about going for that flush. But out comes the 6-mon, so maybe really not willing to discard Dora. I mean, we've already seen discarding Dora be a little bit ruinous in this game, so we're already thinking about that. Bobrick with the con, still no Tenpai though.
Yeah, speaking of Dora, we get 4 more of them after that con. So the 5 of circles is now Dora as well. So the red 5 in Imacow's hand is now doubly valuable. Bobrick finding the red 5 here is going to drop the 1 to kind of upgrade that shape just a tiny bit. Their hand is still closed and everything like that, so we could still see a Ricci or perhaps Damaten there. Across the way, Chrisand might be working towards 7 pairs there, potentially.
This extra 1 of dots out for Red Panda. Of course, it does look like if the 3 of dots comes out, it might end up dealing into Imacal. So Red Panda better not change his mind about holding onto the Dora, or it could be ruinous. Bobrick with the inside weight, 4 of bamboos. 2 of them are making up a pair in Kristan's hand. But there are still 2 left in the wall. I think that's actually pretty good for this point in the game.
Yeah, at this point, it's definitely still good. Your sumo chance goes down as turn order increases because the amount of tiles in the wall definitely decreases. And the Ipatsu being blocked by the emote there, but it doesn't turn out to be the 4 of bamboo. So we keep going around and we'll see exactly what happens as Imako draws another Dora, but it doesn't matter because Bobrick finds his winning tile. And this is going to be Ricci Sumo And do we find Uradora? We do find 2 Uradora. So that is going to be a Hanemon for Bobrick. They are not out of this race yet. Who cares about dealing into 2 Mongons if you can get yourself a Hanemon going into your dealership?
The con pays off there. Bobrick finding himself 2 Uradora, raising from Mangan to Hanemon, 8,000 to 12,000. Still in 4th place, unfortunately, for him, but 17,000 points out of 1st as the dealer. Definitely easy to do. Just a little more than 1 Mangan. Hanemon would do it for sure. And in terms of 3rd place, only 2,000 away from that as well. There is no 1st place bonus. There is no Oka. It's just 15-5 position based bonus. So nothing extra for getting 1st place over the other positions, but every position is another 10 points. 10,000 points rather to your score.
It's interesting to see the difference in playstyle between their ranked statistics and what's going on in the tournament as well. Just being the stats guy that I am, we have a bunch of things that we compiled before the tournament. And Imacao, apparently, based on stats, is one of the players that likes to call the most and has a more aggressive playstyle, at least in ranked, between all these 4 players. And we might see that with this hand with the white dragon and the red dragon in their hand. But so far, we haven't really seen that from them. So it's going to be interesting to see how these hands progress, if they go back to their own playstyle or if they're going to keep on playing like they do in tournaments. But this is going to be Bobrick finding the Ricci, waiting on a demonic red dragon wait, but there's none left to draw. 1 is out and the other 2 are in Imacao's hand. So we'll have to see if Imacao tries to fold and deals into Bobrick's Ricci.
Definitely possible. Imacao just did draw a safe tile there. Has the other safe tile, 4 of dots, 4 pin in hand. After that though, Red Dragon might be the next safest thing. You can see Red Panda's already discarded one. It really does look like the next safest tile after the completely safe ones. So definitely not out of the woods here. Imacao might end up dealing in. We'll see though. More safe tiles do get created as the game moves on.
And that's one of the things that I personally love about 7 pairs is that you can wait on these once discarded honor tiles and make it look like, you know, it's totally safe. You could totally discard this. This is definitely something that logically you can think, sure, I could discard this. And then it deals into a monster hand like Bobrick's with 3 Dora already.
Yeah, in a lot of cases, it really is the safest tile. But not in a 7 pairs case. And Bobrick's hand does not completely look like 7 pairs. It does follow the same typical format of discard guest wings, discard outside tiles, and then discard inside tiles as you get closer to Tempai. So it's not easy to read that this is 7 pairs either. But more and more safe tiles have been added to the board, and so Imacao has not dealt in yet. Let's see if they can make it through all the way to the end. And as mentioned, the three of bamboos, the Sanzo. Bobrick, not a believer in it here, did not decide to wait for the 3-so. They picked the red dragon and discarded the 3-so. And that does allow Imacao to discard a pair of 3-so in their own hand. 19 tiles left in the wall. 5 draws per player. Of course, none of Bobrick's tiles are going to get him the win, and it doesn't quite look like our other players are going to make Tempai here, but you never know. In fact, one other interesting stat is that Imacao, very high draw Tempai rate, and that is to say, when the game goes to draw, Imacao somehow finds a way to make Tempai almost every time.
Oh, but they dropped the red dragon. It's gonna deal in. Finally, they dropped the red dragon in hopes of folding. They had the 1-so to fold with, but as you were saying, trying to find the Tenpai there for the end of the game, but deals into a dealer Hanemon from Bobrick. Back-to-back Hanemons, and now taking the lead, coming back from 4th place.
Yeah, honestly, it wasn't really like Macau ran out of safe tiles. Macau had enough safe tiles to make it through. We were worried at the beginning that he wouldn't have enough safe tiles, but he did. But as I was just bringing up his tendency to go for Tenpai at draw, his hand started to form. He said, oh, I can probably make Tenpai if I just take some small risks. And the small risk turned out to be a huge payoff. I don't know if it's a payoff when you lose your point, but Bobrick got a big payoff from Macau's risk there. And as I was mentioning before that hand, Haneman was enough to put Bobrick in the lead. So from dealing into Mangan and Mangan to winning Haneman, Bobrick is now in the lead. In control of game number 1 here.
Now we did just get a question in chat about, is busting enabled? Busting is not enabled, so the game will continue even if a player goes negative right now. But we're still a little ways away from that, you know, still at least a direct hit Mangan off of Imacao here. So what we see right now is hands starting to come together. Red Panda is very close to Tenpai, and Bobrick continuing with the flow here, if that's something that you believe in, finding another Dora here with the 3 of bamboo. So it's going to be a very large hand again for them if they find it as the dealer, and Christian might be able to find this East Wind coming out of Imacau's hand here. We'll see if they pawn. They do, and so that's going to speed up their hand exponentially as well.
Yeah, we saw Mangan, and then we saw Haneman from Bobrick. This hand already has 3 doors. This is a tough wait. I'm not sure if Bobrick is going to take this one, especially for his propensity to not reachy, but cannot roam here if he doesn't reachy. So he does go ahead and reachy. Only 1 tile left in the wall. It is the more expensive side, the Dora. I was trying to calculate whether this one could be Haneman. And it might
comes
be.
out.
Depends on Uradora. No Uradora on this one, so Mangan, but Haneman, Mangan is still pretty good. And getting it right off of 2nd place, the best player to get it off as well. Bobrick is running up a storm here, going down 20,000 points and then going up 42,000 points from that position.
Yeah, Bobrick not finding the slightly more valuable Dora there, although it wouldn't have made a huge difference without Uradora. But keeping this lead and being very commanding here in their dealership. It's been 3 large hands in a row for Bobrick. Quite a large swing, as you were saying. So looking at other players' hands, trying to get other people back into the game here. Imacau's hand is far away, but is very shiny with 3 different Dora in their hands. So we'll see if that can potentially come together by the beginning of the 2nd row, hopefully. And they might be able to get a Ricci out of it. Red Panda has already pawned their Seat Wind, hoping to take away the dealership from Bobrick. Typically, in sort of Mahjong strategy, you would say the Southwind player should be the aggressor, trying to get the dealer out of their seat and things like that. You typically see that in Mahjong books and things like that. But it looks like it's going to be Red Panda trying to move out of their typical defensive play and move things along here for a half flush.
Yeah, it is a small advantage, I suppose, where, you know, the players who go first in the hand have the higher chance of being first to finish their hand. And so obviously the dealer, East, is the first, so they have the fastest chance. But the South player, the very next player, is right after that. If the dealer is playing aggressively, they have the chance to chi as well from the dealer. But it looks like the dealer this time is first to Tenpai. Red Panda was making the half flush, but with the Dora coming out before Red Panda can call it for a Roan, and from the wrong player to call a Chi, it looks like Red Panda is going to be a little stuck trying to finish this hand. 3 isolated tiles in the 4 of dots, the White Dragon, the Red Dragon. To catch up to Bobrick here would be a tall order without dealing in, so we see Red Panda not really aggressively fighting against the Ricci right now. Imacao discarding a pair of Dora to avoid dealing into the dealer. So it looks like Bobrick is just going to have almost free reign. Kristan does find Tenpai. No Yaku here, but that means even more reason to reach. There's on one side there is the pure double sequence, the Ipeiko, the twin sequence. Of course, Imacao just drew the last 5 so not gonna be able to sumo that. Would have to get it from Imacao. The 2 is still widely available though, 4 of them in the wall.
Yeah, it's interesting because looking at the stats, Kristan chases Ricci 16% of the time, roughly, which is less than all the other players here playing today. So we'll have to see how it works out for them, you know. But it's going to be interesting to see how players fold. Generally speaking, whenever you are not in Tenpai, especially with Dealer Ricci and now with a chasing Ricci, all you're looking to do is fold here. And try not to deal in, you know, hopefully the other 2 people in Ricci deal into each other. But it's going to be Kristan finding the 2 of Bamboo, ending Bobrick's reign as the dealer here in East 3. And we're going to look at Ricci Sumo, and that is it for 2,000 points. But very significantly moves the game forward and gives Kristan a little bit of a hope to reach for first place here as the dealer.
Yeah, it's a big stop for Bobrick. At least momentum-wise, Bobrick had just hit 3 cut-in hands in a row. That is Mangan or higher. You can see the Chiori cut-in after each of those wins. So just getting that stop, at least emotionally, mentally, gets you back on track. And of course, Kristan has not been the one to deal in on any of these hands. And so just with a few small wins, Kristan is actually not that far behind Bobrick. We are still in the East round. We did have a lot of repeats, so it doesn't quite feel like it, but this is East 4. So there's still quite a bit of game to go.
Yeah, and it's that sort of not dealing in that sort of comes with experience from playing a ton of Mahjong. And Kristan is the player with the most experience here, especially on the ranked ladder in Mahjong Soul. Their account has roughly like 4,000 games in the Jade Room, as compared to roughly 1,000 for each of the other players. So that sort of experience is going to come with a lot of the defensive capabilities that you're seeing from Kristan. And speaking of experience, if you're enjoying your experience here on the stream, be sure to smash that like button on the stream so we can get it to more people. And of course, you're going to want to share the stream with your friends because we have some gift codes coming in between the matches. But as we get back into the game here, looking at the hands, Red Panda has pretty good progress in their hand, very much in a good one-away state right here, and they find it. Will it be the Ricci? Yes, it is. So, waiting on a 5 and an 8, 3 for them to draw, and a few in other people's hands here. Imacao going to drop the Dora, which was not necessarily safe, but pushing for that Tenpai there, waiting on the 4 of Bamboo.
Yeah, that's a very aggressive push. Dora could have definitely dealt in, and it could have definitely hurt. Of course, we only have 3 games in this series, in this format. This is a 3-game, 1-day tournament. And so because Imacao is already down so much in the first game, I suppose they figure that they have to go for it at this point. To be fair, considering what they had in their hand after these 2 calls, they didn't have a single save tile. They did have the Suji, the middle Suji, the 5-pin, which is definitely a lot safer than just discarding Dora, but that would have taken them out of Tenpai.
Bobrick finding a tile that does not fit in their hand, and typically that means that they drop it, but will they recognize some restraint here and maybe fold? The emote comes out, but it's not going to be anything. Realizing that maybe they're just going to fold here and, you know, stop their momentum.
Yeah, Bobrick never quite got Tenpai, so it wasn't as enticing. It wasn't as tantalizing.
Oh, but the 4 comes out, so that's going to be Imacao winning off of the smaller hand here, just Green Dragon only, for 1,300 points. But it might be that little ray of hope that can keep them from staying in 4th place here.
Yeah, you know, that's what is mentioned a lot. It's big risk making the calls. Not that big of a reward on paper. But the big reward is stopping the dealer of Kristan. The big reward is stopping the hand of Red Panda, who is in Ricci. And just points you don't lose have to be taken into consideration when you're making these kinds of calculations, especially in this high level match here. The Battle of Kirin. 2 Saints, 2 Celestials. No tips. We get tips as commentators and viewers to make it a little easier, but no tips for the players, so they don't see their weights. They don't have shiny Dora. Have to remember it all, but I don't think that's that big of a deal. We're such talented folk.
Yeah. Well, if you're watching the stream and you're a fan of Imakao, there is still hope for Imakao here. Because technically, if you're thinking about it, generally speaking, what you're thinking of as you're going to all last here, South 4, is that the number of rounds remaining times 10,000. If you're under that, so 40,000 points between you and whatever you're trying to get to, there's still hope, because that's like a Mongon, basically, Mongon Sumo every round, effectively. So it's something that we've certainly seen Bobrick do in this game already. So it's not hopeless by any means. It's still very much manageable here. And even if Imakao doesn't miraculously come back to first place, it's definitely still manageable to get third or maybe even second.
Yep, and there are 2 more games, so even a 4th place can be made up for with just as big of a first place in the next game. You just need to offset all your losses with an equally big win. And because all the players are playing on the same table here, it's only a 4-player tournament. We've already invited the top. They've already proven themselves through that qualifier sort of era, that sort of bracket, through all the Catfood Bowl minor tournaments. Any points you win come directly from your opponent, so you don't have to worry about players on other tables overtaking you. This is as clear, as succinct of a Mahjong competition as you can get.
Bobrick is 1 away from Tenpai here. Might be looking at a Pinfu hand if they can find it. And in this sort of 1-away situation, probably going to be pushing even into the later half of the second row. General high-level Mahjong advice is that once you get past the 9th discard, generally folding is, profitable or recommended or whatever you want to call it. Just in case and all that sort of stuff, if someone's sitting in a Shadow Tenpai similar to Bobrick right now. So, we'll see what our players do. But someone like Imakao is definitely going to be pushing here. So, but as we've been talking about, Bobrick sitting in that sort of Shadow Tenpai, that Damaten, looking to snipe somebody with Pinfu here.
The Dora draw here for Imakao, the 7 of characters, just a little too much. Just a little too much for them to push. So you mentioned they'd probably be pushing, but until that draw, that one a little too spicy with this few tiles left in the walls. Even though nobody has Reachied, I almost took it for granted that Bobrick would just Reachy that, but as we mentioned, Bobrick, the Dama-10 specialist, the close to my specialist, and maybe even because of that, Imakao willing to push a Dora. Also, of course, Imakao's position. It's a little bit of both. They're both waiting on the same tile, but Bobrick has those extra 7s of dots. That means he's got 2 left in the wall. Oh, never mind, he's folding.
Yep, commentator's curse. But interestingly for Imakao, there are no 4 of circles left in the wall, so it's going to have to come out of someone's hand. And at this stage of the turn order, that's highly unlikely to come out, especially with so many. Oh, well, commentator's curse. There you go. Imakao finds the 4 there. Red Panda trying to call into Tenpai. So it's going to be Ricci Red 5, 2600 for Imakao, winning their second hand in a row here. into their dealership.
I think if Red Panda had gotten Tenpai a little earlier, I feel like that 4-pin probably would have come out while Bobrick was Tenpai. We could have seen a double run here. As we mentioned in the beginning, most tournaments do not use double run. They use the head bump version, which is the player next in turn order gets the win, and the player after that just doesn't get any points. But this tournament, Battle of Kirin, is using double run and triple run. Multiple run is on. So we might have seen one there. But Red Panda not getting Tenpai at the time. And Bobrick folding. So saved a decent amount of points there, I suppose. In a way. Even though Red Panda ended up dealing in.
A really interesting series of decisions here from iMacau. Two things that didn't happen, and then one thing that did just happen. The two Northlands that were dropped from Bobrick and Christand. iMacau decided not to pawn those to kind of keep the idea of a half flush here hidden, and still thinking about it with this one of circles, trying to decide exactly what their hand is going to be, but then pawning away the Southwind to sort of reveal that they have something going on here, or maybe just keeping the idea of dealer repeats and staying in the Southwind, South round. The Southwind triplet is now Prevalent Wind, so you never know. And it's going to be an interesting discard from Red Panda here. But Tips, I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah, I was thinking if iMacau was going for the half flush, the 1-pin and the 3-pin discard might have been reasonable calls, but it seems like iMacau, as you mentioned, is going to go for the fast line and just take South only for 1 hun. iMacau does need points though, but with this draw has convinced iMacau to go for it. I think one of the biggest things that prevented iMacau from going from the half flush is that it's impossible to pawn the north into a triplet, right? iMacau has already passed the 2 norths that you mentioned. And so it seemed like, at least to me, that iMacau was just going for the quick 1 hun, but this triplet of 4-pin, the 4-dot triplet, seems like it's convinced iMacau. I don't think the weight's any better though, so I'm not sure if it's going to work out. Well, this helps. This allows iMacau to cut the north pair, getting a completely new pair. The last red dragon is still in the wall, fortunately for iMacau. So this could actually turn out huge. This could be an amazing reversal of fortune for them. But they're not the only one almost Tenpai. Red Panda on the left is 1 away, could easily call a white dragon for Tenpai. Unfortunately for them, Bobrick on the right has a pair of white dragons, probably not super willing to discard those himself either. So they both might be stuck on it. They call it mochi mochi in Japanese, or pair locked. Both needing each other's white dragons and both unwilling to discard them, at least for now.
Yeah, the only hardship that iMacau is going to go through right now is that the tiles that they're waiting on are pretty few and far between. So there's not a ton of things that will help them get to Tenpai, but definitely committing to this hand with the drop of the Dora there. So hopefully it goes well for them, but as we continue in turn order, it's going to be harder and harder to find these draws. It's going to be Red Panda opening their hand and waiting on the White Dragon really here. So we'll see if that ever comes out of Bobrick's hand, but generally speaking, it's unlikely.
Yeah, you know, at first glance, it looks like a big upside that Red Panda has that 2-so weight, which there are 2 left of in the wall. Nobody has any, but on second glance, Red Panda has no other Yaku but the White Dragon. So even if this 2-so comes out here, this 2 of bamboos, it is not going to deal in, despite how red the tile looks right now on our screen. Of course, iMacau doesn't know that. So iMacau has to really think about it. Oh, it's actually convinced iMacau to play a slightly slower hand. iMacau can still win because he does have the South triplet. So there's his Yaku. And Christand, can Christand pull an insane 7 pairs out of the hat with only 15 tiles left in the wall? Doable, technically.
If there's one thing I believe in, it's 7 pairs. So, absolutely.
There's 4 Dora in Christand's hand. This would be an insane upset. But Christand is only 1 tile away. Of course, the 1 of dots, not going to happen. 3 of them are on the table. The 5 of characters, 1, 2, 3. Well, there is another 5 of characters in the wall. And then the other one is the 5 of bamboos, the 5 so there. Which also has 1 in the wall. So really, it would have to be runner at this point. There's 2 more draws left for Kristan. They'd have to both be perfect. 5 character, last 5 character, and last 5 of bamboo. That's the only way.
Yeah, and that 4 coming out is super lucky for Imacao, so they're going to be able to end in Tenpai here, most likely. And if that last red dragon comes out, the last red dragon comes out, it could be a little bit of a switch up on the weight so that they can wait on something other than the 7 here.
Sorry, will we see Bobrick Khan to reduce a draw? Currently, Imacau's getting a draw, but if Bobrick Khan's here, not only will Imacao know that his weight has been destroyed, but he won't get a draw. Oh, Bobrick does do it!
Devastating.
There's the red dragon, though. It's kind of a blessing. Oh, but Bobrick doesn't discard it.
Oh.
If the red dragon had come out, it might have been a blessing in disguise for Imacao. Would have been able to call and change.
What could have been, but a very smart con there from Bobrick, giving the last draw there from Imacao.
Yeah. And we see the you don't get a draw from Bobrick with the emote there.
Denied. So looking at the starting hands here, Imacao actually has a pretty good starting hand at the moment, but ending in Tenpai, they do get to stay the dealer despite not getting that like last draw there.
Yep.
So not a bad starting position for Imacao. The other hands looking around the table, nothing is particularly far along already, so Imacao looking to be in the best starting position, as it were.
Yeah, although the value of the hand is debatable. Any hand like this, if it's all closed, can be worth a lot with Richie, but Imacao's hand looks like it lends itself to being open called, and Imacao has played a lot of open hands according to the stat line, so we'll see if Imacao goes for a quick 1 Han. It is a little bit more as dealer with 1 repeat counter, 1 home ball on the board. Maybe 2,000, 2,300. But Bobrick gets Tenpai without even having to call, and Imacao is really stuck with that 8 of dots. Not a good look for Imacao right now. Tough turn of events. Red Panda drawing a Dora, I'm sure he doesn't like that either.
Ooh, very lucky for Imacao.
7! It's a dream come true! Never mind! It's Bobrick's dream come true! The Ipatsu! The 1 turn victory! Well...
Oh, the humanity.
it looked like Imacao was saved there with the 7 of dots, but really it was just a prelude to Bobrick's 8 of dots.
Yeah, it's Bobrick's world and we're all just living in it, obviously. Oh man. So Bobrick starting out with 3 pairs in hand right now, which, you know, could pair up very well with other tiles and stuff like that, but generally speaking a little bit slower on the high pie here on the starting hand. Looking across the way, Red Panda has 2 red dragons, which is suitable for their name. Imacao has a pair of the North Winds if they want to pawn their own Seat Wind, but going to be looking for value here, certainly trying to make at least like a Mongon in this hand for Imacao here. We'll have to see how it ends up going. Kristan looking at sort of like an all simples route here at the moment.
Yeah, I think Red Panda would really love a second Dora right now. Does make the Red Dragon call in advance, but to even get to second place, Red Panda's gonna need, you know, at least a Mongon at one point. If Red Panda goes to all last with just a 2-Han hand here, just 2,000 points, depending on who they win it off of, they're gonna be out of that Mongon sumo range, which is generally the range you're looking for to reasonably be able to make a comeback in South 4. Red Panda gets an extra Dora though, you know, if they end up waiting on one Forso at the end, but Red Panda already has his pair. Doesn't look super likely. Maybe he'll find a different red 5? Hard to say. Like maybe the red 5 of dots to replace his regular 5 of dots. That could get him to 3 Han, and then Mangan Sumo would work in the all last. Or of course if he direct hits Kristan here for the win, that would put him in Mangan Sumo range to get the second in Southboard in all last. Big Khan, that might actually do it. It finds the Dora, it does do it. In fact,
Wow.
with enough luck, Red Panda might be able to overtake on this turn. On this
Could be a
round.
Pwn from Red Panda, maybe.
The Pwn is interesting because it's really setting up to get that Dora. As I mentioned at the beginning, the 1-so, 4-so weight, the 1-4 bamboo weight, which allows you to add an extra Dora to the hand. That would bring the hand up to Mangan for real, actual Mangan. But honestly, with the Fu from the 16 Fu from the Red Dragon Con, you're already looking at like 5,200, sometimes 6,400, probably 5,200 on this hand though. Oh, but it all pays off. The draw goes just as planned, and we're looking at Mangan right now.
Yeah, never doubt Red Panda. What are we talking about?
Yes.
Of course he's gonna find it.
I mean, it's a small chance, but the only way you're gonna find that chance is if you play for it. And so, props to Red Panda for finding the line that brings him up to the promised land. Oh, there it goes! Huge draw for Red Panda. Tough for Macau though. Macau has had to play pretty aggressively ever since dealing in with the Red Dragon to Bobrick's Hanuman, the 7 pairs earlier in the game, even in the East rounds. But Red Panda is on the cusp of overtaking for second place now. Macau just gonna have to do it in games 2 or 3, I think. Of course, there's always Yakuman.
There is always Yakuman. However, worth noting, there is not double or multiple Yakuman, so there is a limited range, I suppose, on what can happen here.
That's right.
The starting hand for Imacao does kind of lend towards the character suit here, especially with the 2 Dora in hand, so we'll have to see where that ends up.
Yeah, we're looking at 2 Dora here. 3 pairs, but there's a 6, 7, 8 of characters. A lot of different things that Imacao could make. Could even just accept 4th place, go for like a Mangan with you know, an all inside or a Tanyao Dora 3, all simples Dora 3.
Yeah, but the biggest problem is going to be Bobrick here pulling the Southwind.
Yes.
Going to be trying to seal away victory here as quickly as possible.
Yeah, now 1 away for Kristan, so this is more than one problem for Imacao. Bobrick can make another call here, go right into Tempai. Bobrick was thinking about it. To be fair, having the extra west tile is very safe. Keeps you from dealing in. Now Bobrick has no safe tiles. So it makes sense why Bobrick was thinking a lot about that. That pawn of the west wind. Of course, that's one of the biggest differences between online Mahjong and live Mahjong. In live Mahjong, you don't get that kind of time to think about pawning the west wind. You have to do it if you're going to do it, or it's going to go through and you're going to miss your chance.
Yeah, it's going to be Kristan declaring Riichi here with Bobrick already in Tenpai, but the players don't necessarily know that. So it's going to be a battle between Bobrick and Kristan to see if we can try and get these tiles that are, for the most part, stuck in Imacao's hand. None to draw for either Bobrick or Kristan now.
Now they're both on the
Bobrick
same
changing
tile.
on them to the same weight. So if Imacao deals the 4, there is no head bump here, so it will be a double run on Imacao if that 4 comes out of their hand.
Woo! And Imacao deals the 6 just after Bobrick makes the weight change. Did he know? Or is it just serendipity? Sometimes you can see that 7-so coming out of hand. Make a read off of it. But yeah, there's definitely a possibility that Imacao could have discarded the 4-so instead of the 6-so and Double Roan, dealt in twice there. I mean, the Tuso is tough. It might actually happen now. No! Imacal's going for that Yakuman line. Going for 4 concealed triplets. Suanko. That's a con. Okay.
That's definitely a con.
That's a con. Whoa! East has been out twice. Normally it looks a little scary against Bobrick here, but Bobrick has discarded the North himself. And we saw the East come out, so no 4 wins. 4 wins is off the table. 7-8-9. Is Imacal going to keep this? No, doesn't even keep this. Really going for the Yakuman on this hand specifically. Also maybe just doesn't want to discard the 8-mon. Afraid of dealing in. You know, the dealer is in Ricci. Bobrick has made 2 calls, so... There's a couple different reasons why maybe you don't want to do that. Discard that 8-mon.
Yeah. The other thing is too, Imacal is probably aware of Bobrick being in Tenpai now because the last 5 draws have been directly in hand and then out of hand.
That's right.
For Bobrick, so very much, you know, not getting a draw that he can kind of like swap out of his hand and all that sort of stuff. So unable to hide the signal that he's in Tenpai here.
Ooh, okay. 2 white dragons back to back. There's the last set of white dragons from the end. This 7 so looks pretty safe. It's safe to the Reach player, safe to Bobrick. And it does come out. And Imacal did con all of the 8 so. So it'd have to be a very sneaky play with a 5 and a 6 to be waiting on the 7. Or maybe just like... No, it really would have to be just the 5 and the 6 though. Because all the 7s were accounted for. Oh, what a draw for Red Panda, but... Okay!
Yet another con.
Okay!
Why not?
Red Panda goes for it!
Wow. Alright, waiting on the 7 of characters.
Yeah, I mean, that
3
might
of them
come
are
out from
locked in Kristan's
Imacal.
hand. It could. It very well could. But the 6 is going to come out first because it's certainly in Bobrick's discards here. So a little bit safer.
Yeah, just the tiniest bit. But I don't know what Imacal does from here. Well, that Dora isn't too bad. It's kind of bad, though. Only 1 has been out. It was after the Ricci. Okay, 3-mon is out. That's safe to the South player Ricci. And it looks like we're going to get another hand here. Oh,
Yeah, it's going to be Tenpai End for Kristan. And so that means that we keep going because he's not in first here, I believe.
100 points for Imacal. Can still Ricci. As we mentioned, there is no busting rule, so you can go into the negatives to Ricci. Just go down to minus 900. So Imacal still has different ways to score points here. Looking at a Yakuman to actually change his placement, but as we mentioned, it is a 3-game tournament, not just 1 game, so it doesn't end after this. You can just get the points to give you a better position for the next game.
Yeah, and if you were looking at the tiles in that last hand, the only tile available to draw for Imacal there was the 8 of characters. So the Yakuman wasn't going to come one way or another, but you know, you always hold out hope, right? So now it's going to be a little bit of a speedier hand coming into this. So Kristan is trying to find some dealer repeats here with that pawn of the 2 of circles. Red Panda is fighting back with that pawn of the green dragon and deciding what to cut from this hand. There are a few different decisions here, but goes with the 1 of characters. Certainly a solid choice.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about Imacal's hunt for points, but really Bobrick is still the hunted man at the table right now in first place. And for our other 2 players, they are definitely in range with some large hands. Especially, as you mentioned, Kristan holding 3 Dora on this one. Trying to do anything he can to win the hand. Very scrappy is the best way I can put it. Just trying to put together anything. Kristan's hand really doesn't look put together right now, but calling the 2 of dots, just trying to put any sort of advancement. That is one of the biggest tiles Kristan could have drawn. The 4 of bamboos right there. That's huge.
It's very huge. And it's going to be effectively dealer Mongon. If Kristan ends up winning this hand, it's going to be 4 and 30 as it stands now. Could draw another Dora as well. But now it's going to be Bobrick in Tenpai waiting on the 8 of bamboo. Not quite finding the 7, 8, 9 mixed triple sequence as I was kind of thinking it might go towards, but you know, still a valuable hand in that it would let them win the game here. So
yeah, interesting. Yeah. No Riichi. Without Yaku, iMacau is going to be able to discard that 8-so, and Bobrick would not win. Bobrick would not be able to roam. He's got to draw it himself. Let's see. Well, he doesn't have to discard the 8-so here. Takes a different line. Gets Tenpai on 2 mon and 5 mon.
Yeah, hits Tenpai. It's not enough to do anything necessarily here.
Yep.
Just 2 Han, but looking to go out with some honor, certainly.
Stops the bleeding for, and even mentally, you're like, all right, I got one going into the next game. He's ended last game on a win going into the next game. Forso is still stuck in my head because in the previous couple hands that Forso would have dealt in. Oh, I have to discard a Dora to go Tenpai? Will Kristan do it? That's so scary. Does it?
Wow, yeah.
Oh, and it pays off immediately. Oh.
Excellent.
Great
Dropping
courage.
that Dora means that it's only going to be 3 and 30 rather than 4 and 30, but still 5,800 points, and it's going to be another dealer repeat here. So we stay in South 4 as now we're in almost 6,000 points-ish range of Bobrick here in second place. And this hand looks like it could go for another repeat here with the pair of the South Winds. Could be another quick hand here for Kristan.
Yeah, you know, these iMacau and Kristan, they're both Celestial players here, and it's common knowledge that you're supposed to take care of your Doras, right? You have to take extreme care when you're drawing Doras, but it's interesting. You get to the Celestial level, and you see people. The best way to describe it is you know the rules, so you know when to break them. And that's what's been going on. Kristan and iMacau, our 2 Celestials, have been more than willing to discard Dora when it's necessary. But it doesn't come without risk, because it's common sense for a reason. You know, you deal the Dora, sometimes it deals in, you have to pay out a lot. So we kind of see 2 different sides of the pendulum. Kristan getting a payoff from the discarded Doras, up high in second place, 44,600, and iMacau with those discarded Doras, unfortunately, eating the unfortunate side of the risk, down at 100 points. We can see iMacau discarding Dora really early this time to go for 13 Orphans, Kokushi Muso.
And it's going to be a very difficult hand to go for, especially with all the other players dutifully aware of what's going on. Kristan discarding a lot of terminals and honors right there in the beginning, but even if it's not 13 Orphans, this could be a 7 pairs hand for iMacau.
Yeah, 1 away for 7 pairs right now. That might seem like what he has to do, but you know, I'm sure if he knew he was going for that, he would have liked to have this pair of Doras out of his discard and back into his hand. But you can't always read the future.
So, interestingly, we could see another Southwind come out and have Kristan open their hand just like they did in the last round where they won a hand and stuff like that. So, Kristan has the highest win rate out of all these players after opening their hand. So it's going to be interesting to see if they take advantage of that. One of the things here too is that a lot of the players here out of whenever their opponents call Riichi, whenever they're in Shadow Tenpai, that Damaten, and when they're open, all of the players deal into open hands the most. So it's kind of a question, do you open your hand and go for less value, but go for higher win rate and stuff like that? Do you take advantage of that in a tournament setting? And how that applies to kind of like the point values of each of the players. It's going to be interesting to see how that kind of interacts here in the tournament.
And we see point value wise, Macau abandoning the 7 pairs, breaking the pair of 8 so after getting the first red dragon. White dragon is still out there somewhere. Green dragon is also live. 1 of dots and 9 of dots. 1 pin, 9 pin. I think all of them are still... All of those tiles at least have 1 remaining in the wall. But there's just so many tiles with only 13 draws left. I don't know how Macau gets them.
Yeah, Imako has drawn all 4 of the Dora, which is extremely painful. And now the Riichi from Red Panda draws the 5 to potentially deal in here, but keeps the 5, luckily. So will not deal into Ipatsu from Red Panda here. We'll have to see how the hand continues. But for now,
another
things
5
are looking like a fold, and it's a 5 for Bobrick. But it's the red 5, so it's a little bit too scary, and we continue on with the draw order.
Yeah, 1 chance for Kristan to get Tenpai here as well to keep the game going. What'll it be? Does not find it. Unfortunate, but it looks like the race for first place is going to end here.
Wow, a well-fought battle, and it will end up being with that sumo, or sorry, the Tenpai payments. Imacao will end up going negative here, so this is going to be Bobrick, the emote champion, the Shadow Tenpai champion, the People's champion, being in first place here for game 1, followed by Chris Stand at 43,600, and then Red Panda 25,900, and Imacao at negative 900 for your game 1. A really well fought game here, and really interesting to see how the different hands have played out. Bobrick going on such a menacing spree here. 2 Hanemans back to back, and then a dealer Mongon. All of these different things happening in quick succession, springing up to first place from 4th place. So these matches are dynamic.
All right.
It has been absolutely wild.
It's been super dynamic. The East round was very dynamic. The South round was still quite dynamic. There's a little more of a stable play, people knowing their positions and playing for it. But there's still a lot of ups and downs in that South round as well. And of course, if you would be so kind, Tenote, to give the people what they want as we get the stats in.
Absolutely. So, welcome. This is the live stream lucky draw. So we have a question for the viewers here. Question, will we see any Yakuman in this tournament? So we almost saw the 4 concealed triplets. That's Suanko from Imacao. We had the attempt at 13 orphans there at the end as well. And man, I would love to see some Yakuman here. So I don't know. Will we see Yakuman? Will it only be Tanya? Will it only be 7 pairs? Or will we have to see the comeback of the century with Yakuman? And if so, man, what Yakuman are we going to see? Is it going to be something really cool looking, like all green? Or is it going to be something that everybody loves, like 13 Orphans? Or maybe even the rarest one of them all, Sukansu, for quads.
4
Man.
cons. I don't think I've ever seen one.
I've only seen them in the highlight videos that Mahjong Soul uploads. So,
It happened. You almost, you're like, let me see one. Even if I don't get it, even if I have to deal it, let me see it. I'm not going to give it to you,
man.
though. I'm never giving the tile on purpose. But I do want to see it. I mean, we already saw I'm a Cow go for 13 orphans. We already saw I'm a Cow go for 4 concealed triplets, Suanko, in the first game because of the point position. So, you know, I'm optimistic that we'll see a Yakuman. We've already seen a couple attempts. And they've gotten kind of close.
Very true. You know, personally, I am a little bit biased because Tenho is in my name, so that blessing of heaven, drawing your first tile as the dealer and winning a Yakuman that way. Really hope that we see that. That would be incredible, right?
That's true. And it was kind of insane. The first Yakuman I ever got was all green. You know, it makes you just make all your tiles green. Just take only the green tiles. And you know, I later found out it's actually one of the rarest Yakuman. And I haven't gotten it since. I've gotten a couple of the other more common Yakuman, but it's actually wild that my first Yakuman ever was all green.
All right, and we do have a winner. The winner is Lara with 9 gates, a great Yakuman. Lara. Lara, congratulations. You can contact Yostar by email at mjs.cs@yo-star.com, and you'll be able to get your fortune charm.
That's right.
So congratulations, Lara.
Don't forget, when you contact Mahjong Soul at mjs.cs@yo-star.com, include your friend ID for your Mahjong Soul account, so your ID, so that they know which account to give it to, as well as your YouTube account channel, so that they can verify that your account, the one you posted the chat message with, is the one that you own yourself. So send the email with your account on YouTube, as well as your friend ID in Mahjong Soul, and you will receive a 30-day fortune charm as our lucky Janshi. Congratulations, Lara. So we do have the scores in, so let's go take a look. And I will mention, as the scores show up here, there are gift codes coming later in this stream, so stay tuned. There will be something for everyone. Even if you're not one of the lucky Janshi, you'll be lucky enough to have watched the stream. Make sure to like the stream as well, and subscribe to the Mahjong Soul official channel so you don't miss any of this amazing tournament action. Enough ado about setup. We have Bobrick here in first place. You did see the game, so it should be no surprise. Bobrick's in first, Chris Stand in second, Red Panda in third, and I'm a Cow coming up the rear. The 15-5 UMA were added, so that is to say Bobrick got an extra 15 points for being in first, and I'm a Cow lost an extra 15 points, and then for second, Chris Stand got an extra 5, and Red Panda lost an extra 5. As we mentioned, there's 2 more games to go, so anything earned or lost in this first game can easily be achieved or lost twofold in 2 remaining games. A lot of times in the bigger tournaments, there's a lot to review on the table, but you know, in a case like this, there really is just the game that we watched.
That's very true. But in these sort of games and stuff like that, like if I'm a Cow gets first place, the placement points for first place are plus 15. So 15 of those negative 45 points would already automatically be wiped away. So by getting first place, you can really sort of either get ahead or come back. So over these next 2 games, we could really see a shift in like these scores and everything. So it's not over yet if I'm a Cow is your favorite player. Okay, so there's still hope. Don't worry.
Yeah, well, I've been seeing a lot of more of our community getting into tournament play. You know, a lot of people, of course, there's a lot of people just play Mahjong for fun, take Mahjong Soul on the bus, when they're riding in the car, not while driving, please, or
True.
just at home on break from work, on lunch, etc. But there's been a lot of increase in participation in a lot of tournaments. I've seen a lot more tournaments both on the EN server and the CN and JP, the Chinese and Japanese servers as well. It's been wild. We've seen like high school tournaments. There's a lot of interesting projects in the works as well. I can't talk too much about those, but suffice to say that I think a lot of you viewers out there are also interested in playing tournaments as well. And of course, the Catfood Bowl always has an open section in the minors, and that's how you get here in the first place. But learning these kinds of scoring details is a great way to get yourself in that position, and following along as a viewer at home can get you in that mindset. So when you do come and play in a tournament, whether it's your first tournament, whether it's in person or online, you can understand what's going on.
Yeah, there's been a lot of really interesting like grassroots stuff. I've seen some collegiate leagues and things like that from local players. I've also seen in different content creator communities and stuff like that, there's like fan tournaments and like viewer matches and stuff like that, which is really cool to see. The Mahjong community is growing in the West, and it's really inspiring. It's really great to see. So thank you all for being here, and be sure to share the stream because we do have that gift code coming later on in the stream. So your friends who play Mahjong Soul would definitely thank you for letting them be here and get that gift code later on. So this game has been pretty great so far. Really interesting play, especially from Chrisstand, I would say, because getting a mighty second place here, but relatively passive in the game, didn't deal into anything, but only won like 2 hands and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So really interesting play style from Chrisstand, and of course Bobrek with back-to-back Hanemans and then a dealer Mongon, just going from 4th place to 1st place so quickly in the East round in their first dealership.
And speaking of change, we're going to quickly swap commentators here. And of course, I know you guys heard her at the beginning of the stream. She is back. I will be stepping up for game 2. Please welcome Irie back to the stage.
Hey everyone! I'm back and excited to cast another one of these games. Game 1 was wild. We saw so many crazy hands. What a comeback from Bobrek. It's nice to be commentating with you again, Tenhote.
Yeah, always a pleasure. Man, what do you expect to see from game 2 here?
We'll see if they can keep up the pace with these crazy hands. Chrisstand has shown a lot of discipline, not dealing in a lot from what I can remember, just keeping it nice and steady. I'm excited to see what the players have for us. I think the matches are coming up shortly.
That's right. We've got 30 seconds to go before our second match begins. So, Irie,
Right.
what is your favorite Yakuman?
Oh, counted Yakuman, because you can win it with Chitoy. You can win it with 7 pairs.
True.
So what you're telling me is your favorite Yakuman is 7 pairs.
I mean, my favorite Yaku with 7 pairs, so it would have to be counted. Otherwise, how can I win it?
7 pairs,
Maybe it would be
Dora
all
10.
honors. Maybe it would be seven pairs, all honors.
Ooh, I do like that one. That one is
One day.
extra rare. A lot of people forget you can make all honors with 7 pairs, or even all terminals and honors. That being said, I've covered enough time here. Let's get into game number 2.
Let's get on with game number 2. Our first dealer is gonna be Imakao, second dealer Bobrek, third dealer Red Panda, and fourth dealer Chrisstand. The door is the south, and dealer has just drawn one.
Yeah, starting into the game, the East 1 strategy here is something that gets talked about a lot, where it's the start of a new game. Everything is neutral in terms of points in the game, but we do already have the placement points from game 1 that you can see there on your screen over to the left to remind you where players stand overall. And so you have these two interlocking metagames where you have the points in game and the points outside the game to think about as you're building these hands, as you're trying to move towards Tenpai and building these larger hands and things like that. So that's going to be something that we really want to keep track of here, and something that these players are definitely going to be thinking about.
That's right. For the second game, we might see a little bit more just standard play. People going for their own hands, just playing sort of normally. But I definitely, on the third game, we're going to see people calculating, thinking about every single hand, the amount of points they're going to win, and how they're going to play. Every single decision is going to have to be calculated down to the wire. So it looks like we have the dealer here one away currently. Not a lot of Dora, but you know, if the Ricci does come out, if they get ready to win, might be a bit scary to fight against.
It's gonna be interesting to see what line Imakawa takes here. If they're gonna take the sevens as their pair and stuff like that, maybe try and fight for some other line here as like an all symbols or something. But it looks like they're gonna drop the 7, just keep what they have. Definitely looking for a 3 of circles here to try and have a double-sided weight on the 6-7. And it's gonna be Bobrick here thinking about the red dragon pawn, which they do indeed take.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to
dropping
see.
The 4.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Is he gonna go for another half flush, just like the previous game where he started with these with those half flushes? Looks like he will be going for that again, and once again using those emotes.
And we see Imakawa drop the 4 now to try and get out of the way of this half flush before it comes. But the Ricci from Red Panda is going to be something that's kind of like a big question mark for players right now, because there's not a ton of information in their discards to as what they're waiting on, which is that 5-8 of circles, a double-sided weight. So there is a good chance for the Ippatsu here, which they find. Absolutely beautiful. The sumo for a large hand here from Red Panda.
Yeah, I believe that will be Hanuman. 12,000 points going the way of Red Panda, and it's going to be Kristan who's going to suffer the larger brunt of that sumo. Sorry, Amakawa, the current dealer, paying 6,000 points. So currently Red Panda in the lead by a little bit over 12,000 above all players. Second dealer here, Bobrick, starting the hand off with a pair of red dragons. We'll be able to call that down the line in order to make a triplet of it and open up the hand, speed up the progression.
Yeah, Imakawa definitely taking the brunt of that point loss, but not a bad starting hand right now, looking at a potential for a pure straight and maybe a far off 1-2-3 mixed triple sequence if luck is particularly on their side. Bobrick again with the pair of the red dragons, could see a pawn come out here, but nothing as juicy as that half flush last time.
Yeah, and just gonna be these two players here with 2 Dora in their hands, Red Panda and Amakawa. Looks like Kristan's hand is nothing too crazy just yet. We'll see how it progresses, but now picking up another Dora is Amakawa. Currently 1 away, I believe, yes. So that could be a potentially game-changing hand here.
Wow, hands the 2. So a little bit of a decision to make here on how many pairs you want to keep and all that sort of stuff. But drops the 2 of circles, which I think is the right play there. So, you know, it's always hard because these players are far better than I am. So whenever they do something that I would do, it's kind of like confirmation bias, you know? But, you know.
Red Panda does have a lot of ways to call this hand to make it open, but Bobrick here with the chance to pawn the red dragon does call it. So that's going to put them 1 away from Tenpai. Just needs... Ooh, choosing to keep the 2-4 shape. Very interesting. So normally you would keep the pairs in order to be able to pawn them, but for some reason maybe Bobrick just has this feeling that keeping the 2-4 might be better. And a 6-mon draw for Red Panda is a very welcome sight. There is a chance that Imakao could go for a pure double sequence with that Dora 3, and that could be a very deadly silent Tenpai hand.
Some interesting discards coming out from Christand. Wondering where their hand's going, or if they're just not happy with their hand, so they're trying to fold here from the get-go.
Yeah, it might be one of those cases because you don't really have a lot of value and you don't really have good shapes. The dealer has made 2 calls already and you're really far away from Tenpai, so this might be one of those cases where you just abandon the hand from the get-go because the chances of completing it are very, very slim and the value of it would be very low.
Yeah, and we now have 2 players in Tenpai, Bobrick waiting on the 3 of circles, and there's 1 left to draw of those, and 2 others in the hands of their opponents here. And Imakao waiting on the 2 of bamboo, which is pretty much stuck in Bobrick's hand, and then 1 in Christand's hand. Very unlikely to come out because they're so close to the Dora, and now it's going to be a Riichi from Red Panda on some tiles that are highly available in this double-sided weight.
The 1 and 4 of circles. This hand will not be a Pinfu, but it will still have 2 Dora. So it could be a lot of points here. We just saw an Ipatsu come out, winning on the first turn for Red Panda. Let's see if he can do it again. Bobrick has to make a decision here. Do you push or do you fold? It looks like discarding the 2 of circles. 2 Riichis. Tough situation to defend against.
Yeah, and it feels like if it's going to be a direct deal in here, Bobrick is kind of the keeper of those tiles, and otherwise it's probably going to be a sumo by Red Panda here, is pretty much the only line that we have right now.
Ooh, not quite the sumo yet. There are 14 tiles left, so about 3 draws for each one, and looks like Imakao draws one of the 1 pens, so that's going to deal into Red Panda. So Riichi, Dora 2 is going to be 5,200. Another nice win to add to the lead. Going to be about 48,000 points. That's almost twice as many points as everyone.
Yeah, and one of the things that we saw in the sort of stats and everything before this is that Red Panda is one of those players that can really run away with these different hands and stuff like that, kind of build a big lead off of larger hands and stuff like that. Maybe not the highest win rate, but the highest like points per hand and stuff like that. Grab a lead and then hold on to it,
Right.
which is something that we're seeing now. Roughly about the amount of points that Bobrick was at to hold first in the last game. So we'll have to see how the playstyle switches up from here. Does Red Panda keep going for some of these more aggressive hands, or do they just play defensively and fold a little bit more to keep their points?
Yeah, we'll see. Last game we saw a lot of really big hands being exchanged back and forth. We'll see if Red Panda will keep this rampage going. It is not their dealer. The Dora is the 8 of circles. There is 1 of them in Kristan's hand, so that might be a hand to watch out for. But otherwise, Red Panda is in the clear. Doesn't look like anyone has anything too threatening. Although, saying that, Imakao is 1 away currently. For a mixed triple sequence, the 3 sequences in the same numbers, 1, 2, 3, across the table, you can see that.
Yeah, definitely locking in, trying to go for that 1, 2, 3, dropping that 7 of circles, which probably would have allowed for a faster hand there, but looking for value here, certainly.
Looks like everyone's hand is still a little bit away. Imakao does pick up a small upgrade here in this 1 away. We'll see if they even want to keep it. 7 pen could end up as a sequence, but it looks like they will just take the 1 of characters. This gives them now the 4-man draw for the pure double sequence. That would be great for them. That will be Tenpai if they do decide to take it. 3-man and 1-man could be the Riichi. So looks like deciding not to Riichi for Imakao. Still hoping to get the mixed triple sequence, I think. opting for the less win rate but maybe higher value. Sometimes that's worth it in the effective value of your hands, right? I think that's the style you were talking about.
Yeah, certainly, especially for the position that we find these players in right now. So thinking about the overall macro of the game, right, rather than the
Ooh.
micro of the current game. But it's going to be a triple-sided weight for Christian.
So 3, 6, 8. The 3s and 6s are pretty much all either held up in people's hands or discarded. There are 2 8s of circles to be drawn. So that can end up being a Mongun for 8,000 if Kristen finds it.
It would be really
Red
big
Panda?
hand. Sorry, big push here from Imakal with the 4 of bamboo. This red 5 might be too much, so going to drop the 1 of characters instead. And Red Panda was sort of thinking about their decision as well, but the White Dragon is an easy push. So
Yeah, I was thinking whether Red Panda would discard the 7, which is 3 away from the 4, right? I think we have discussed Suji as a concept in previous streams, but for those of you who don't know it, tiles that are 3 away from someone's Reachi's discards are a bit safer. And that way he could keep the mixed triple sequence 4, 5, 6, but it looks like he opted just for the safe like, given that he's currently in first, which I think is very sensible.
yeah. So we're kind of seeing as we get to the end of turn order and everything like that, there's fewer tiles to be drawn by Christand and also more safe tiles for the other players to drop here. So a lot of red dragons coming out, a lot of safe tiles being found, things that will make sure that people don't deal in here as we approach exhaustive draw.
We'll see if anyone can still get a Tempai before the game ends for those extra repeat or draw points, but otherwise there are still 2 8-pins left, and Kristen does have 1 more draw, or 2 more draws actually. So we could see a draw here of the 8-pin.
Bobber taking some time to think, but ultimately folding here. And same thing for Red Panda. Ooh, that 8 comes through, but I don't think he dropped Aura here. Nope. So it will be Christand as it currently stands for the very last draw. So we could see an extra Yaku here if
It's still
luck
out
comes into
there.
play.
Oh, but it won't be this time. Just exhaustive draw. Kristen will take 1,000 points from every player as a little bonus for being ready to win. We'll move on to East 4. Now Kristen's dealer, the new Dora is the 9 of characters. One of them in the dealer's hand.
Okay. Well, looking at the different hands and stuff like that, if Imakao is looking for value here, yep, we might see that pawn come out, and we might see the half flush here in the bamboo suit, which is maybe a little bit higher win rate, just based on the character suit having the Dora and stuff like that. So people aren't necessarily going to be thinking of bamboo as the expensive suit, so it might come out a little bit faster. And Imakao might be able to reach this dealership a little bit quicker.
We do have Bobrick though, 1 away currently. 2 Dora in hand now. Has a chance here to go for mixed triple sequence with 6, 7, 8. Although this Dora does fit very nicely in his hand.
Yeah, I think the Dora is fine, and then, you know, if they find either the 5 or the 7 of bamboo, that's probably the perfect kind of thing that you're looking for, the best possible draw, and then wait on that kind of like triple-sided weight in the character suit.
Wow, some very nice draws here for Imakao. Put him in Tempai, already ready to win on the 5 of bamboo.
Yes, and still 1 in the wall, 2 are in other people's hands, and this early in turn order, you know, people still might be looking to discard 5s and stuff like that, but the last one's going to come into Kristan's hand, so Kristan definitely a player that's very much aware of the folding situation, so we might just see that stick in their hand permanently.
Well, even if that's the case, Amako can still draw more bamboo tiles, drawing the 4-7 of bamboo. So now, I think you could potentially switch your way to 5-8, but it looks like you will opt for the con, adding some extra food to the hand. And showing everyone, I have the bamboo. I have them all.
Oh yeah. Amakao is the keeper of the bamboo, so we'll have to see if, this could become something where the 3 of bamboo comes out, and then they pull on that, and they wait on a single tile and stuff like that if they feel like the 5 isn't coming out. All these different things could happen over the progress of a hand. But right now there's some hands that look a little bit shinier, especially Chris Hand's hand here with that 8 becoming Dora now. So could mean that Kristan might even think to push this hand now. So we could see a little bit of an explosion happen this round.
Yeah, we'll see. Balmeric also did receive 1 extra Dora, but upon drawing that 2 of bamboo, deciding it was too scary to push against his hand. One thing I'll say is that Imako's hand does still have potential to improve. Upon drawing a 4 or 6 of bamboo, this moves into all triplets half flush for manga.
Yeah, half flush is one of those great hands that can build value upon itself. So it's one of those hands that you see a lot of people go for, especially like kind of in like the Jade room and the Gold room and stuff like that. It's just kind of like, old reliable.
Yep, the good old half flush. Great tool for adding more Han to your hand. We'll see here. Thing is, now at this point, with all of this showing, no one's gonna want to push their hands against Hamaka. He's currently still waiting on the 5 of bamboo. So even though other people do have Dora, like Red Panda does have 3 Dora, but it's just so difficult to push against this.
Yeah, a lot of the bamboo now is just kind of trapped in people's hands, and looks like it probably will be until the end of the game. But still a Tenpai situation for Amakao, the player with the highest sort of Tenpai rate at exhaustive draw, as we've seen so far. And going into their dealership, that's not necessarily the worst situation, even if they don't win this hand.
It's a bit unfortunate for the other players too, because even though they might have tiles that could be safe. Ooh. It's half flush now. 3-sided away, 2, 4, 5. Only adds an extra 4 of bamboo, I believe. An extra 2 that can be drawn. All the other ones are locked up in other players' hands. It looks like that would not be the draw. Instead, Bobrick finds it on the last tile.
Yeah, very, very close there. And that 6 coming out of Amakao's hand is just a huge alarm to everybody else that they're definitely in Tenpai. So that'll be 3,000 points going to Amakao for the Tenpai payments. And it'll be their dealership. So we'll swap on over here, and Irie can lead us through the hands here at the start of the round.
That's right. So we will have Imaka's dealer. The Dora is the 6th one, which could slot very nicely into Imaka's hand here, which looks very nice. Lots of really nice shapes. A pair of East for the double East pawn. And already 1 away with the chance of just a nice quick Riichi, the 2-sided weight. We do also have on the left here a lot of Dora in Kristen's hand. Some nice shapes too, a possibility of a mixed triple sequence. So this hand might be another one to watch out for. But there it is, Riichi already for Amakao. If he does decide to take it, it's not. Looking maybe for that East triplet.
Yeah, definitely in a position where now that you are in this sort of Tenpai and stuff like that, you have the ability to wait a turn, which is a very great statistical chance to improve your hand, as it just did for Amakao. So definitely the better side here is to find the East, which does not happen on Ippatsu, but could still very well happen. 3 tiles left in the wall for this wait for Amakao, looking to get a dealer repeat and just climb out of 4th place here, finally.
And unfortunately for Bobrick, the hand does look very nice with those honor pairs. But unfortunately, that 7 one going to be a thorn on his side, unable to progress the hand without discarding it. We'll see if the other players can progress their own hand, but the win here on the East would be exactly what Imakal needs. Currently in 4th place right now, and not doing so hot in the overall standings. Could find this East for the manga and for 12,000, and does find it. There it is. Richie Sumo double East. No Uradora, but it is still 12,000.
It's South Round now.
Oh, it's
just
South
swapped
Round.
over,
Oh my goodness.
So it's gonna be 6,000 points rather than 12,000 points. I noticed that like just as he drew the tile.
Yeah,
So,
I was wondering why that wasn't manga.
Yeah, why is there no flash across the screen? What's happening?
Oh my goodness,
But,
the game is going by
yeah.
so fast. With the previous game has so many repeats. I thought we were still in East.
Yeah, but still a very nice win for Imakao. Definitely the start of a potential, look towards first place here. Now in 2nd place, definitely a much better standing as we head into dealer repeat 1.
He'll still be 6,000 points with 2 extra repeats on top. This is going to be the 2nd repeat of his dealership, but the 3rd repeat overall. So we'll see. Can use the Dora currently, the 8 of Circles. Looks like the hands are not quite as fast as the previous one. We'll have more time for these hands to develop, even if they aren't so great at the start.
Yeah, I mean, we've, like, in the previous game, we saw Bobrick draw, like, 3 useful tiles in a row and just hit Tenpai immediately and all that sort of stuff and call Richie, so anything is absolutely possible, especially for, players playing on a grand stage like this, It's like Mahjong knows that we want cool stuff to happen and it just allows for it,
Mahjong sometimes does feel like it's almost like an anime. So many epic things happening.
Oh, certainly, yeah.
Bobrick finding some nice improvements. Not quite one away yet. Some very nice draws. Ooh, there it is. The Dora being drawn by the dealer. Currently one away. Some very nice shapes.
Yep.
Just looking for the 3-6 of bamboo and the 1-4 of characters. The 8 of bamboo wouldn't work as well. One away for Red Panda. Drops the Norths. So potentially going into an all simples route. Could end up in mixed triple sequence 5, 6, 7 as well.
I like this drop from Imakao, dropping the 4 of characters here. Allows for a little bit wider acceptance on some of these tiles. And now finding the 5 for that pair that they needed. So now on a 6 or a 9 of bamboo, 5 tiles in the wall to draw. 2 of the 9s are already in the discards. And there's 1 6 in Bobrick's hand. So a really good chance of drawing here. The turn 9 double-sided Riti is probably about a 53% win rate here. And now the triple-sided Riti from Chrisstand is going to really challenge this hand.
Imakao does have a pretty nice hand currently. Richie Pingfu Door 2 could be a Mongun. And Chrisstand is waiting on the Dora, so the dealer currently in Richie could unfortunately draw the Dora and kneel into that, but we'll see who draws first. There's 1 left to be drawn. Oh, and it's gonna be Chrisstand drawing the 6 of bamboo, dealing into Imakao, Richie Pingfu Dora 2, and 1 Ura will make a Mongun for 12,900, I believe, with the repeat counters. So now, finally, everything's looking great for Imakao in 2nd place, 41,300, only 3,700 points away from Red Panda.
Yes, and something that we've seen in the stat line is that Imakao has the highest win rate of these 4 players, the largest average score from their hands, and also the highest Ipatsu rate out of all of them. So there could be a situation where whenever Imakao gets going in a game like this, could just run away with it completely. So with this dealership on repeat 4, if it keeps going, this could be Imakao's game to lose.
And this hand would be a great hand for that Rampage. Currently looking like an all simples hand. Red Dragon already discarded just to make sure no one can get that triplet off the Dora. So Amaka will be looking to make this hand quickly, as you said, to stack up those repeats.
Looking around the table, Amika's hand is almost certainly the fastest here, but Kirstand has like a good enough set of blocks and stuff over there to consider them as a contender for this hand. So we'll have to see how hands progress. Bobrick's hand has some completed shapes here, and looks like they could reach Tenpai pretty soon.
I think for max value, you could go 7 pairs as well, depending on what you draw. Red Panda did draw a pair of the Red Dragons, so there's still one out there to be drawn. To be pawned, maybe.
Kristen picking up the 8 does fill the 7, 8, 9 there, which is a really nice, very lucky draw for them. Progresses their hand pretty well, but still has some single tile weights in their hand, so percentage-wise, still pretty far away from finishing this hand.
And if you were excited by the lucky draws earlier, stay tuned for the stream, and don't forget to leave a like if you're enjoying the commentary and the matches tonight. We will have more goodies for you guys later.
Ooh, finding the third door there is Red Panda. Red Panda with the Red Dragon. You know, get me some fan art of that. I need like a Red Panda riding a Red Dragon. But it'll be a triple-sided weight on the 258 here for Red Panda. 4 tiles to draw and a good amount to come out of other people's hands should they feel like those tiles are safe. But right now, players are going to play safe around this Ipatsu round. Bobrick making a little bit of a decision here. But no Ipatsu for Red Panda.
Oh, this Ricci with 3 Dora and the Red Dragon could end up putting Red Panda all the way up in the lead. More than he already is. Very dangerous hand.
Yeah, Red Panda known for having those kind of what do they call them? Bomb hands, you know, where they're just like so large and stuff like that. They're hard to overcome. So should this hand go through, it could put them so far in the lead that things start to look like a competition for second place for these other competitors.
There's still 3 tiles left to be drawn. We'll see. Bobrick was one away before, but decided to fold against this Ricci. This is template for the dealer. We'll discard the 4 bamboo, avoiding the deal in. It's now waiting on 3 6-1, also 3 tiles left. 6-1 was just discarded by the Ricci player. That is a dangerous draw. What will Imacao do?
Very big decision.
And folds! Finds the fold to avoid dealing into this monster hand by Red Panda.
Such a great display of self-control there. So, absolutely excellent. Something that we should all strive for in our own matches, perhaps, but something that I don't often find myself doing, but it is what it is.
It's a tough position for sure.
With that call is also now in Tenpai, waiting on a 4 or 7 of character, so there are now still 2 players in Tenpai, but Imacao looking to maybe get back into Tenpai as they normally do in these sorts of situations.
Yeah, Bobrick just looking to stay ready to win, quote unquote, just so at the end of the round they don't lose points, instead they will gain points. We'll see if it works out for them though. Yeah, so this will not deal in and cannot win with this, but
yeah,
they are Tenpai. This is Tenpai as well for Amicao. Going to take it. There's still 2 tiles left to be drawn and 1 more draw for Red Panda. Can he find it? Bobrick making a hard decision. No sumo for Red Panda.
Yeah, So it'll be Tenpai for Imakao and for Red Panda, Bobrick breaking Tenpai at the last minute, not wanting to deal in there, which absolutely makes sense. It'll be Imakao keeping the dealership. We are now on dealer repeat 5, and there's one Riichi stick on the table up for grabs as well, with Imakao having 3 Dora in their starting hand.
That's right. So the Dora, 7 of bamboo, 2 of them in Amical's hand, 1 red 5. Across the table, we do have Red Panda with currently 1 away for 7 pairs. Potentially all triplets or half flush. We'll see. Quite a monster hand as well.
Yeah, starting 1 away for 7 pairs is a little unfair, I would say, but you know, that's the kind of luck you need if you want to win these sort of tournaments.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be double Riichi.
It could be double Riichi, that's true. I don't know. Imakao finding some good tiles here overall, completing a triplet of the 4. Definitely looking to complete some of the other shapes in their hand. Definitely wouldn't mind having a triplet of the Dora, but it's going to be a pawn of the Red Dragon from Red Panda here, opening their hand rather than going for 7 pairs.
Yeah, so we'll see if Red Panda ends up going for the all triplets or the half flush in the circle suit. Could go either way, and both would add pretty much the same amount of value. They can win 2 Yakuhai, so the south and the red. So currently Tenpai can still upgrade for the all triplets, but waiting on the 3 of circles. We also have a 1 away from Chris stand here.
Deciding not to take the different path there, sticking with the 3 of circles is Red Panda, which I think is fine for now, because there are better upgrade paths on sort of like the other side of that shape and stuff like that, or if they draw like a 6 of characters maybe. Something like that. They could still pawn a 2 or a 4, all of these different things. And in the meantime, if someone happens to drop a 3 or they draw it themselves, then they can just get out of here with a quick victory. Now drawing the 5, we'll see what they choose to do. They'll drop it.
Yeah, I think that would end up putting them in Floritan. They could wait on the 2 and the 7, but I think you want to keep this because you can still pawn the 2 and the 4. Not only to improve your hand, but also get more value.
Do you ever end up going for all triplets?
Oh,
as Red
yes.
Panda here? Yeah.
I think so, yes. I think if you get a chance to pawn, it's a very good way to get a Mongan. Gosh, Amakal's hand. 2 triplets right now and 2 pairs. Could be a 3 concealed triplets. See if they end up discarding this 2-4, and there it is. I believe this will be a pawn, yes. So now waiting for the all triplets. Could be
a little
bad.
bit of a trap.
Ooh.
Yep.
So
That'll be a
unfortunately,
Mongan.
yeah, Imakao dealing in there. Back-to-back drops. Exactly what Red Panda needed for that Mongan. So moving on to South 2, Imakao unfortunately losing a little bit of that second place lead, but still in second. It's going to be Bobrick Stealer with quite a few pairs and triplets, currently 1 away.
An interesting consideration for the pawn. They take it, and now they're in Tenpai already. So, you know, could potentially see, you know, an early victory here for Bobrick and a quick dealer repeat. Finds the upgrade for the 5 here.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Dora is a 6 of bamboo. Bobrick cannot use it, nor does he have it in his hand, but he does find the 1 way to get Dora in his hand, the red 5. There are 3 Dora now in Amakal's hand, so, you know, even though he just dealt into a Mongan, he could make a Mongan of his own.
Yeah, and, you know, a potential upgrade for Bobrick as well could be drawing the red 5 of characters themselves, and waiting on the 6 of characters there too. So still, you know, 1 upgrade path for Bobrick, but obviously looking for this 8, which could come out of Red Panda's hand in the next few turns here.
Yeah, so it's a very quick hand. You wouldn't expect the 8 to deal in this early. However, Amako does have a ton of Dora and it's now currently Tenpai on the 6 spin only. They are waiting on the 9, but unless they draw it themselves, they cannot win off of it. Only on the 6 by Rod.
Yeah. Even with the double-sided weight deciding against Ricci for that first turn, waiting a turn to see if it upgrades, and it doesn't. So
Ooh.
it's going to be the Ricci now. Ooh. And the draw by Bobrick. What happens here?
Ooh, this is very dangerous. Oh, and
Oh, he pots!
it's exactly the tile. Ricci, Patsu, Tanya, Dora 4 is gonna be Hanuman. 12,000. So a little bit of revenge there by Amako. Not against Red Panda, but making those points
Yeah.
back.
Revenge against Bobrick for last game, we'll say.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And this is exactly what we were talking about when we were showing the scores. Amako was in last in the previous game, but now currently sitting very pretty in second with 45,300. Red Panda has did get a third before, now currently in first in South 3. It is their dealer. The Dora is the one of circles. There's one of them in Bobrick's hand, so maybe he can mount the comeback, but Red Panda can also use the Dora, so we'll see who gets to use it first.
Yeah, and the common sort of like idea here is that now we're in South 3, now players are like really going to start thinking about their points and their placement, especially Bobrick and Kristin right now, kind of like thinking about the battle for third place and everything like that. Because second is just a little bit too far off. You would have to get super lucky in these next 2 rounds, or like, for Kristin, maybe a dealer repeat in South 4, that sort of thing, in order to mount a comeback into second. So, with that being said, kind of like the battle for third here is going to be important, because for both Bobrick and Kristin, currently in the lead in terms of placement points that you can see on the left of your screen, getting fourth means minus 15 and like really kind of coming back into the fold with everybody else, which makes comebacks much more realistic for Red Panda and Amako. So these points, these hands, the next couple rounds here are going to be really, really telling of how the rest of the tournament might play out in Game 3.
Yeah, we'll see. Even though these players currently in third and fourth might not be able to surmount this massive lead, any hand they can win is still points on the leaderboard, you know? Even a Mungan might not put you in first or second, but will help you in a tournament setting. Bobrick does have a chance to make a Mungan here. Potential mixed triple sequence 6, 7, 8 with 1 Dora.
Yeah, Kristin is one away here, and finds the Dora. So going to call Ricci here and wait on a 4-7 with 2 tiles in the wall for them to draw.
But now, Bobrick might end up pushing this hand. And it might be with the tile that deals in the future. That's the danger.
Ever the emotes coming out from Bobrick. No Ipatsu for Kristin, which might have been a path back to second in this kind of path that he's on right now. But winning this hand would certainly be a huge boon going into their dealership here in South 4. So we'll have to see where players go. Amako and Red Panda most likely looking to fold in this this situation.
Yeah, unfortunately, the other players are a little bit too far away from Tenpai in order to be able to contest this hand. And they're also in a very massive lead, so there's no real reason. I mean, when you're in the lead, you really want to avoid pushing against the players below you, because that's how you end up giving someone a comeback, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll most likely just be seeing these 2 players fold, and potentially Bobrick fighting against Kristin's Ricci.
Yeah, the I suppose common advice is that if you're 2 away from Tenpai, just fold. If you're 1 away, sometimes there's borderline things, and if you're Tenpai, then you should push. At least for beginner players, that's like the generalization. So for Bobrick here, it seems like this is one of those borderline situations where you can definitely see the logic for a push.
But unfortunately, as Bobrick's emotes show, unable to find the tiles he needs to fight for the sand. Really wants that 6-mon or 7 of circles. Though all the 7 circles are gone now. Will he take Tenpai? For Tenpai's sake, I think he will. So unable to win this hand, but avoids paying out those points to his opponent.
Yeah, as we come down to the wire here in terms of turn order, we're going to be looking at players trying to find Tenpai of their own without dealing in, which is going to be a challenge, especially for Imacao here with some dangerous tiles in their hand. Probably just going to fold. Oh!
Oh! But deals in the 7. I believe the 3 copies of the 5 made him think maybe the 7 would be safer, but ends up dealing in, reaching Fedora onto Kristen. But it's only 3,900. I'm not going to make for a huge swing. However, we are now in Kristen's South 4 dealer, looking at about a 30k to 40k disadvantage here that he needs to overcome. The Dora is the 7 of characters. One of them is in Kristen's hand, and he does have 2 pairs of the Value Honor tiles, the Southwind and the Green Dragon. We also have Imacao, a lot of pairs. See what he makes of it. Kristen does go ahead and pawn the Green Dragon, looking to make a quick hand with this Dora and South.
Yeah, definitely looking for a quick hand here is Kristen, looking for that final Southwind, either coming from Imakao's hand or Bobrick's hand, maybe for a little bit more value, but not necessarily something that they need. Could keep it as a pair just for the quick win. Imakao's hand.
Ooh, going for the triple call. Sometimes you might not want to do this when you have, 2 possible sequences and your only pair. But it does look like he'll go for it. Maybe just hoping to scare people, or even end up making a more expensive hand down the line with the half flush.
Yeah, the other thing too here is that we could see happen is the fourth South is in the discard pile, but for the 1 of characters and the green, should Kristen draw them, it could be a potential con here for them.
We'll see.
Dropping the 7 there.
Yeah, Kristen could. You're right. Kristen could con for more value. This can could end up being massive. Red Panda has some Dora in his hand too. Could end up in a Shadow Tenpai for Ping Fudor too. I just love the term Shadow Tenpai. I can't stop using it.
This is just a fun term. I understand. This is a very delicate situation for Kristen, especially because as dealer, they're not so far from Bobrick that you're thinking that there's no chance that Kristen loses 3rd place here. So there's a potential that depending on how the hand goes, if another player sumos a large enough hand, or there's a direct hit off of Kristen here, that they could drop down to 4th as dealer, and of course if they win, they keep going, and all that sort of stuff as dealer repeat. So you're gonna have to try and either go out gracefully or just win this hand on your own.
Kristen hoping to find this half flush. Unfortunately, the other players are holding a lot of the copies of the tiles that he needs. Bobrick did pawn a 1 of bamboo. It's now not quite taking Tenpai. Maybe hoping to go for an all triplets. All triplets White Dragon.
it's hard to, see how this hand progresses because, as you said, a lot of those tiles are locked up, and Bobrick is not going for a half flush, but as his hand is closed as it stands now, it could almost be that way, and that con ends up coming through. So I'm glad that I set that up for you.
You called it.
Go
You
me.
called it.
And that west is pretty helpful too because it could add to this half flush action that we've got going on here.
Amaka has been silently upgrading his hand, possibly looking at a 7 pairs or something, but decides to drop out of it. Now just 1 away. Sorry, yeah, still just 1 away, but not quite getting there. Kristan has been 1 away for so long now. Bobrick as well, just looking to find some sort of value somehow. Even keeping the already previously discarded East. Everyone just trying their best to make their hands, but it's like trying to hold sand in your hands. It just keeps slipping. You can't just... No one can get Tempai.
Well, it is Bobrick. I wouldn't be surprised about a con. Yep, there you go. So now the 6 of Circles is the new Dora here. And there are 2 6 of Characters left for Kristan to draw here, potentially. In the wall. So, but draws the wrong 6, and we'll discard it for now.
This game is very silent. No one really being able to make any sort of move, even though we have these cons going on. I bet everyone's super afraid, but no one actually can seem to make any sort of hand. Kristan really has to find that Tempai in order to maintain the dealer, make this comeback. See if he's able to. A few more draws still left.
As of now, the tiles just aren't flowing, and it's Bobrick somewhat pushing that east wind. There was still one out there. It could have been a very sneaky wait for Kristan there. So a little bit of a push there, but not anything crazy. And now finding a pair. No 6s left to draw from the wall, but could come out from somebody's hand. And Bobrick is finding Tenpai here now too, if they decide to push the 2.
We're gonna see a pawn here? No pawn. Ooh. No one can win on this 5 though.
I'm a Calcan. Or no, they're not in.
Yeah, they don't. Wow, but Kristan folds in South 4. As dealer, Kristan just folds.
And honestly, that's a pretty good deal for them. It was a delicate situation. They had to get out of it somehow, and they end up keeping 3rd place there. Honestly, not a bad decision at all by Kristan. So we have Red Panda at 53,500 taking 1st place this match. I'm a cow taking 42nd with 42,900. Kristan taking 3rd with 12,800, and Bobrick at 10,800. Almost a complete reversal of what we saw in game 1.
So that's what we're talking about. Those scores can always be shifted in the same way someone won, the other player can lose. So that's pretty much what we saw. And I believe in the end there, Kristan ended up folding, hoping to not give Bobrick a chance to catch up, knowing that if he folds, he will be taking the 3rd. So maybe, just a decision. We'll see if it ends up paying off. I'm not sure if it's a good one or a bad one. Definitely a consideration based on the tournament, though. And here we go. We have the updated scores. So Red Panda, the 1st place. Some very nice hands won. Ends up in plus 29.4 in 1st. Bobrick, despite the massive loss, still in 2nd with plus 2.2. Kristan basically canceled out the 2nd place from the 1st game. So now at minus 3.6. And I'm a cow. Canceled out a little bit of the previous game's losses at minus 28.0. So all in all, with the UMA, the placement bonus of 15 and minus 15 for 4th and plus 15 for 1st, And the points, this could end up being a complete reversal in the end. These players are not, no one is out of contention for the first place.
Well, yeah, that's certainly true. We saw a lot of shift here in this, and there is a world where Imacao gets some crazy hands in this fourth game and comes back into first here by like just barely a few points, which is something that I personally would love to see. So this game 3 is going to be something that you're gonna really want to stick around to watch. And speaking of sticking around to watch, we have some great rewards and stuff coming up here shortly in between these matches.
That's right. You guys were asking for it, and we are going to deliver it to you guys. The gift code that you guys can enter for some free goodies for your graceful participation in this live stream. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you're enjoying the live stream, make sure to hit that like button. But for the gift code, you will go on the browser client, and this is very important, only on the browser client, guys. You go into settings on the top right corner and you click others, and then there will be a button there that says gift code, and that's where you can input the gift code, which is YLN4C8QMZ. So that will be the gift code, and I hope you guys enjoy this little reward for sticking around. And if you have your friends haven't told them yet about the live stream, make sure they get in here so that they can get these nice rewards, and we'll have more stuff for you guys.
Man, it's always nice to see these streams and get a little something out of it,
And that's not the only thing that you guys will be getting. We will be giving you guys another lucky draw soon, but make sure to get that gift code. It's in the chat. If you just look YLN4C8QMZ. And now for the lucky draw that you guys have been waiting for. Question is, type it in the chat. If you want to win something, which player do you guys think will win? Who's your favorite of these 4 contestants? We got Imacao, Bobrick, Chris, and
personally, I do like Imacao. I feel like currently in the 4th place, a little bit of an underdog, but red pandas have been my favorite animal forever. So red panda, gotta root for red panda personally.
Red Panda did win the previous tournament that we casted, I believe.
Yes, that is true.
So an expert player.
Yep, returning champion,
Returning champion, that's true. I mean, I guess these players are all sort of returning champions. We've seen them, some of these players, we've seen them for quite a few tournaments, actually.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of red panda in the chat. I'm seeing a lot of Bobrick as well, the emote god. So, definitely the people's champion there. Man, all of these players have been absolutely fantastic. So, that's just what you come to expect from Mahjong Soul events like this.
So many different answers, but it looks like we do have the winner. The winner is ALJAE, ALJAE, saying Red Panda props. Red Panda probably. So it looks like Red Panda, definitely a fan favorite. Bobrick's got 2 emotes though, and Imacao mounting a comeback. Chris Stand, an expert player with over 4,000 matches played. Gonna be one heck of a match. And I hope you guys are ready for some more excitement because the game is coming up soon. Excited? So congratulations, ALJAE. Make sure to email the customer support mjs.cs@yo-star.com with a screenshot of your YouTube profile page and your in-game friend code, the friend ID, and we'll get you those prizes.
Yeah. So personally, I don't know about you, Irie, but I really like what I've been seeing. So I think people should like the stream. And for me, this is pretty much where I am going to be bowing out. I was on the first 2 games, and now for the final, we're going to be having tips and tricks come back. But for me personally, you can find me at youtube.com/@tenhote. I recently released an 83-minute video essay about Mahjong anime that a lot of people like. So please go ahead and check it out. So thank you so much.
Yes, definitely check out Tenhote, an awesome Mahjong YouTube content creator. And welcome back, Tips.
Thank you. I agree. Definitely check out Tenhote there. And all that he does, long form content. Mahjong, Mahjong is a very sort of collaborative media. It takes 4 people to play. A lot of sort of competitive games are just 1 against 1, right? But you have 4 people, and it's really interesting the way that it was created, that the 4 players, they're not supposed to team up or king make, right? And a lot of times when you play different games, and there's more than 2 teams, one thing I noticed with a lot of those kind of is there's a lot of politics involved, right? You're trying to make deals with somebody else, and you're saying like, oh, if you help me out, I'll help you out, kind of thing. But in Mahjong, there isn't really much of that. At least, definitely not like over the table. You're not supposed to be doing things like that in your Mahjong game, right? And it's crazy how the rules came about so that you can have a 4-player sort of like free-for-all without ending up running to a lot of the pitfalls that other games have with that sort of king making. I mean, there are other games, but it's difficult. As someone who's developed a couple of games myself, it's really it's not an easy concept, but it's funny how sometimes these things just happen, because Mahjong is not, well, it's not an ancient game, right? Like the roots are a lot more recent than chess or other Asian variants like shogi and Chinese chess. But it is like generally considered to be over 100 years old. The history on it is written by a lot of different people, a lot of argumentation, but old game, a lot of success. We're still playing it here, and it's very exciting. And so if you're looking at sort of the more philosophical, if you're interested in the history, if you're interested in outer knowledge, tangential knowledge, but it's still related to Mahjong, you can check out video essays like Tenhote's. Yeah. That's what I wanted to mention, because the game is about to begin. I hope you guys all put your gift codes in, because it's about to be time to watch the stream. I hope you all click thumbs up on the bottom of the stream. I hope you all subscribe to the Mahjong Soul official YouTube channel, because I don't want you to forget, because of the excitement of this game. This game is going to be so exciting. If you forget, we'll try and remind you one more time, that's our promise. And now let's get into it.
Let's get ready for the final match of tonight. I'm going to be our first dealer.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Game number 3 starts out with 3 Dora on the dealer. By turn 2, the dealer is 1 away from Denpai. It's been kind of crazy. We noticed Macau is starting to go on a comeback, a tear, an arc. Macau was making a huge comeback in game 2. Got shut down a couple times trying to go for first place. I'm sure Macau wanted first place, because they currently would not be in last place right now if they had managed to pull a first instead of a second. But it looks like they're doing it again here. Dora 3, this is almost Mangan.
Oh my god, already?
Yep.
Tanya Dora 3 is going to be 11,600. A massive hand. So quick to win it. Came out of nowhere.
Yeah, so
Already starting the game off with this massive lead.
And that is from first place, right? Red Panda's in first place. So already we have a close game. I have not done the spreadsheet calculations for how much every player needs exactly over the other players. But if I start right now, in my head at least, It's almost a 60-point difference, right? You got plus 29 minus 28, that's 57.4. You know, if iMacao is first and Red Panda's last, go ahead.
I believe like 4,000 more would make it like 15-point difference and 15 from the UMA point difference. So that would be enough, right?
Yeah.
5,000 or so more?
If iMacao and Red Panda come in first and fourth respectively, that'd be plus 15 minus 15. That's already 30 of the 57.4 points, right? So if the positioning is already 30, they just need a 27.4 difference, and you can see, as you mentioned, there's a 23.2 point difference right now. 23.2 is that a better way to put it so it doesn't sound so trippy? So you're right,
well,
4,000 points. 4,000 points more, and iMacao will already be ahead of Red Panda. And it's only been the first hand of this final game.
Well, iMacao possibly going to be a lot more up than that, as this hand's looking to be something very nice as well. 2 Dora in hand, potential Pinfu, or mixed triple sequence 1, 2, 3. We'll see how it develops. Looking very nice though.
This is a crazy. Oh, that's another Dora, but it's a little tricky. It's definitely usable, but it's tricky. iMacao might be looking to call here to really make maximum use. Although we can see, you know, if you have a 6, 7, 7, 8, one of the potential shapes, if you extend it, is a 7, 8, 9, and that doesn't work for Tanya. So if iMacao does think about opening his hand, the 9 pin might be a problem. So maybe he won't, maybe he will.
We'll see, we'll see. Depends on what comes out from the wall. I can tell here is that Bobrick is 1 away as well, so waiting on that Dora. Bobrick could end up using it as well. A nice pair draw here from iMacao is gonna make this all simples a lot more likely.
They're actually going to run out the Dora early. Some might call it Sakigiri, but the idea is discard it before it becomes dangerous. And
I believe,
yeah, our Celestials have not been shy about discarding Dora. I've noticed the Saints, Bobrick, and Red Panda have been a little more hesitant to be discarding Dora, but it almost feels weird. Like, you know, it did cost iMacao the first game, his rampant discarding of Dora, but he's a very aggressive player overall. I mean, but it got him good in the second game.
ooh, will we see a con here from Bobrick? Currently in Richie, waiting from that 7 pin. Did find it. No, wait, Dora 4 for Bobrick.
That's insane.
Dora bomb.
This game has been flying in every which direction. There's
Oh my goodness.
there's no way to predict what's gonna happen. Honestly, I'm doing my best as a commentator, but it's really just watching the game unfold ahead of us, and that's part of the beauty of Mahjong, you know. It's never over till it's over. I still remember one of the Catfood Bowls where wave won with a Rinshan after a Khan Hanemon in South
Oh
Board.
yeah,
the
for the win, right?
Yeah,
To win the whole thing.
that was one of the most picture perfect storybook ending. Unfortunately for him, he didn't make it through to the major this season, but you know, that's another name you might be on the lookout for. He was very popular in these tournaments.
So iMacao did pawn the 2 of characters. See if, because the problem, right, is that if Bobrick does find the tile himself, the 7 of circles, it would be a massive blow to iMacao, who's currently in first, because they would pay the brunt of that sumo. But it's also hard to push this hand as iMacao.
Yep. There is one more Dora left in the wall. 16 tiles. One of them is the Dora. Of course, there's always 14 tiles in the dead wall, so there's really about 30 tiles left, but only 16 of them will be drawn. So 1 in 30. And now we're at 12. It's 1 in 26.
The odds aren't looking great, but you never know where you're gonna draw.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you only get one shot at it. You get a couple draws. Looks like Bobrick will have 2 or 3 depending on how many calls are made here. Maybe even 4 if a lot of calls are made, but I don't know. Only iMacao looks like they would really be making a lot of calls. Red Panda might make one. It's So it looks like it's just going to be 2 draws for Bobrick, and that's 1. So, okay, a call is made. Bobrick might get 2, but Imikao not really looking to play this hand. As we mentioned, Imikao plays a lot of hands to Tenpai, even when they go to a draw. And it's cost him a lot of points in this series. But it also helped him get that 5 Honba run. The 5 repeat counters in game 2.
That's right. So it might help him in the future on his next dealership, but this one's going to end. We're going to go into Bobrick's dealer as it ends in a draw. With Bobrick pulling a pair of red dragons off the bat. Perhaps going for this half flush. The door is the Knight of Bamboo. So Red Panda can use it and has made a call for this mixed triple sequence half outside hand.
It might even be full outside. We might see all the honors go. You see Red Panda holding the 7 pin and the 7 mon over the honor tiles. So maybe going for the fully outside hand, the Junchan. There's an 8, so a slight payoff already.
Nice Kanchan filled the inside shape filled by Kristand.
Yep, that's right. Kristan's, even with that good tile, is still quite far away. 3 to 4 tiles away from Tenpai. So it's...
Imikao does have 2 Doras, so this hand might be one to watch out for. If this hand can get into Tenpai, might be a pretty huge win.
Yeah, Imikao's only 2 away. It's possible. They're very, like, specific inside weights, though, so it's not that easy.
Bobrick did call pawn on the red dragon, so now looking to either make this just a quick one hand to shut down everyone else and just get a repeat, or maybe going for the half flush depending on what he draws.
Yeah, so we see Red Panda could have called that 6 pin, 6 dots. And then still have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 mixed triples. But Red Panda looking for the more value. Looking for the fully outside hand. The Junchan. Does not call the 6 pin. Whoa!
Oh, and there it is. Richie from Imikao waiting on the 3 man. Does have 2 Doras, so Atsuma will be Mangan.
Yeah, Imikao found the perfect 2 tiles, the 7 mon to match the 8, 8, 9 mon, and then the 2 so in between the 1 and the 3.
Ooh, and a Suji trap is set. Remember, guys, 3 away from the 6 there. Usually a safer discard, but in this case would be deadly.
Yeah, safer, but not completely safe. that's the big difference here. Yeah, 3s and 7s. 3s and 7s are the most deadly Suji. A lot of times, if a 6 is out or a 4 is out, and you want to play Suji through a Suji 7, you should really think about it.
And if you're looking to level up your game a little bit, when you're looking at these defense situations, when someone is in Richie, that's something to watch out for. That might help you out on the defense. The other thing is something that you mentioned earlier, discarding the more dangerous tiles first.
Right.
And that's really something that really makes or breaks someone's defense, because sometimes you can push and prevent someone from winning by just making your hand safer to push with.
That's right. If you don't have that Dora in your hand 2 turns later after they reach you, it's a lot easier to push your hand and win than if you're still holding on to it. But it's always a balance between
Bobrick
increasing your
Sorry,
win rate.
this is so tense. Bobrick made a call here to push against this Richie from Imikao, currently waiting on the 4 of Bamboo. Scary moment.
One of them is left. They're both on single tile weights, but Imikao's are almost all in the wall. There's just 1 copy in Red Panda, and in fact, Red Panda might end up discarding it at some point. Okay, 1 less copy there. Kristan gets it, but it actually fits beautifully in Kristan's hand, so Kristan is not letting that go. Red Panda might, maybe, kind of. It's pretty doubtful, but it might happen. So now we're down to 2 versus 1 in the wall.
This will make or break this round.
Yeah, out comes the 3 so, playing it safe after Imikao discarded it during Richie. Not the Forso though. Does not deal in. No call here from Bobrick. Red 5 pin even because it's safe after everyone dealt it out. Sometimes you could be
this
tempted.
one might end up in a draw.
Yeah, you could be tempted to...
Does this one upgrade for Bobrick? Decides not to take it.
Tempted... What? With that Dora there, but actually Bobrick, all the other 5s are off the table. So Bobrick could not win on that whatsoever. That 5 of dots. 7 did come out recently. Oh, there's the 4, but I don't think Red Panda's in the position to release it right now.
I don't know. Forso might look safe here.
Yeah, it's true. It is middle Suji, Naka Suji to Imacao. But I think Red Panda has enough safe tiles to get through this without having to risk it.
So there it is. It will be a repeat. 1500 to both players. There's the one. They're the ones fighting it out.
Right.
Imacal's still in the lead, but Bobrick does got a repeat. Dora's 4 of characters.
Interesting Dora here. Bobrick, in the previous hands, the dealer has been very easily able to use the Dora. Bobrick has a little bit of a tougher time. It's got 1 and 2 mon here. The 1 is sort of redundant if the 4 mon is in hand, but of course the 4 mon isn't in hand right now, so the 1 mon is still useful to connect to the 3 mon right now for Bobrick, but all that to say that Bobrick's hand is not very good right now.
Red Panda's hand does look kind of nice though. It's still quite a bit ways away, but there's a lot of ways to move forward here, and you know, with 2 Dora in hand, you can really make a play later on.
Yeah, Red Panda both has the value and the shapes to do an open Tanya, open all simples, just start calling and zoom quickly. Red Panda does need a few more points than just 3 Han, but a lot of times you do this, especially in the game with Red 5s, you find that 4th Han very easily. You know, Red Panda could pair up the Dora Forma, and there are also 2 other Red 5s that could be found. So I think open call makes a lot of sense here. Red Panda is not the most willing player to make open calls though, but honestly the call rate on all four of these players is very similar. So I could definitely see him going for it.
I'm curious to see what Bobrick is going to end up doing with this hand. Discarding the 2 of circles in favor of the pair of the 1, so this might be a play for 7 pairs, maybe?
I mean, it's possible, right? If you just draw pairs, you can't ignore it. There's
Because
a lot of other shapes there, though.
Yeah, sometimes your hand is just so slow to contest everyone else that 7 pairs. I mean, maybe this is just my 7 pairs bias coming true, but you know, it has helped me out when I needed it the most.
Yeah, 7 pairs it's both very good for defensively attacking or roundabout attacking, Mawashiuchi, as they call it in Japanese. The idea is you're not throwing very dangerous tiles, but you're still not trying to give up tempai. 7 pairs is very good for that, because if you get dangerous tiles, they can be anywhere and you don't need the tiles in between. You just keep all the dangerous tiles and you hope they pair up. It doesn't often actually work, but it works more than just not doing anything and folding, and so that's why it's very common. Second thing 7 pairs is good for is collecting Dora.
Oh yes, sometimes the Dora is very hard to use, but you can use it with 7 pairs.
When you get the pairs, it doesn't matter the rest of the shapes of your hand. If you get the Dora, you just need to collect the Dora, and then you just collect pairs somewhere else. And what that does is it gives you an extremely explosive hand. Obviously you can't call with 7 pairs, but out of nowhere, if you just hit 1 set of Uradora, you always hit at least 2 Uradora because your hand is all pairs, and then that's why it's called the shortcut to Haneman. And Red Panda here did find that extra red 5, as I mentioned at the beginning, and is now looking at like fake Mangan, like almost Mangan. One-sided weight though. The 9 mon does not win, since Red Panda did open for Tanya, but You know, with the 3 repeat counters, the 3 Honba, and the 2 Riichi sticks, it's more than a Mangan in point value.
Honestly, if Hamako ends up dealing into Red Panda, it could be completely reversal from what we saw last round.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Kristan also get Tempai here. Imacao has tiles that deal into both of them. And Imacao's been playing very aggressively and still kind of needs to. So we might end up seeing some of those tiles fly out. Although this is
currently,
kind of
though,
yeah,
currently Amako can still continue pushing without dealing in. It's a matter of if he will.
This is sort of a dream draw here. Avoids having to deal any of the deal-in tiles. I mean, 6-pin is not safe, so Imacao doesn't know. But we know that 5-mon just kind of saved them from having to throw a 6-mon or a 5 or 8 so. And so here we are.
Bobrick is calling just to get the Tempai, maybe get a repeat going. Amako did draw another 6-mon for the upgraded Tanyao shape.
And now Kristan is out of the hand, at least temporarily. Kristan might be able to come back in the hand, but that Dora draw is just too much to risk. So Kristan just holding the 4-mon there.
Bobrick's hand is getting closer to Tempai, but at this point, there's not a lot of tiles left to finish out the hand.
It's 7 pairs? No, it's only 5 pairs. Yeah, Imacao just maintains the same shape. There's a little tricky move where you discard the same copy of a tile that you drew, but you discard it from your hand, so if people are watching, it looks like your hand improved. Oh, does find Tempai here.
Ooh, there it is.
3-pin? Yep, Imacao has been known to take Tempai at draw, even at slight risk. And this one was not too much risk. It would not deal into Red Panda. Small chance it deals into Kristan. Well, maybe not small chance, honestly. This is kind of a reasonable chance it dealt into Kristan there, but not this time. And Imacao does have to take risks because he's currently in last, so it works out for him.
Currently, he isn't first in this game, though, and
Yes.
not a bad hand to be playing here in East 3. There's 4 repeat counters and 2 Riichi sticks, so that's going to be 2,000 points just from the Riichi sticks and 1,200 extra from the repeat counters.
Yeah,
So
so
we'll see here. Red Panda's dealer. We'll see if he can make anything happen here, though. But you're going to say
all the way at the beginning of the game, you mentioned that Imacao was like after the first big win off Red Panda. If Red Panda remained in 4th, Imacao just needed 4,000 points to make up the difference, and we calculated it out at about 27,400 is the difference after the UMA, and Imacao has made 2,000 of that up, so at 25,200, still needs another 2,000, and can easily get it here with this half flush.
We'll see, though. Red Panda is possibly mounting a half flush of his own. A lot of bamboo pairs and triplets here, and a pair of the north could end up as an all triplets half flush.
Yeah, in fact, Red Panda has thought about it so long that his timer is already ticking down, and it's only the 3rd discard of the game. Already spent most of his bank time. As you imagine, 20 seconds of bank time per hand, 18 of it already gone, so Red Panda is going to have to be a little faster now on the decision making. Mentioned chess during the break. That's one of the similarities with not so much in live. Like in live there is sort of a mannerism expectation that you play quickly, but online there's definitely that kind of bank time clock, and you can't tell the game to please give me a minute because the game will just discard your tile for you.
Yeah, just the auto discard. Red Panda doesn't have a lot of time in the bank, but he does have a hand that is currently 1 away from Tempai. Just looking for that 7 pairs. Unfortunately now, if he does get 7 pairs, it will deal in.
Kristan hits first. Red Panda, what do you do here? The Dora looks absolutely horrific to deal against Kristan, but any other route, if you go for all triplets, you have to discard the Dora. If you go for 7 pairs, you have to discard the 1-so, and that actually deals in. And if you just fold here on the Norths, well, you lose one of your 2 dealer turns. I mean, Red Panda is in first place overall, but I think with the current score standings, Red Panda would at least fall below Bobrick. At least. Maybe even Christand as well, but probably not Christand.
Yeah, this is a tough situation. Imakal is also fighting for this hand. Red Panda does have some outs, like for example drawing the 3 and the 5 of bamboo. But it's not looking great.
Yeah, I mean the 4 of dots, 4 pin looks a little better now that both the 1 and the 7 have come out from Christand. It's obviously safe to Imakal as the first discard. On the left though, if Bobrick, the Yamiten, the Shadow Tenpai specialist gets Tenpai, you know, the 4 pin might deal into him on the left as well after discarding 2 3 pin. So it's a little bit scary, but definitely better than Dora.
This is 1 away now for Red Panda.
Yeah,
It's not interested in taking it though. It's just too dangerous.
Imakal might be interested though. Okay, there goes the 4. That might actually help Red Panda out, but he's got to get some tiles back.
A 3 of circles draw would be essential, but there's only 1 left.
Yeah, it's so hard to find out what deals in and what does. Oh, Dora! That's gonna clear a path as well. Is the 1 so coming out here? The 1 of bamboos coming out.
might want to push here.
I mean, the 2 doesn't look very good either.
There
like
it
the
is.
2 of characters. So, yep. It happened.
The Reachy, it's only Reach Pinfu for 2,000 though, so all in all, that doesn't make too much of a dent in Amakal's.
There are a lot of bonus points.
I mean, this is a huge win for Christand, but it still doesn't change the fact that Amakal is in first and, you know, has a huge lead over Red Panda.
So the difference between Red Panda and Imakal, back up to 22,000. It's 27. It's needing about another 5,000 points again. Christand here.
Panda. Oh yeah, it's great Christand.
Yeah, Christand's at minus 3.6. So if Christand ends up in first place, gets the 30-point difference, you would only need about 5,000 points of actual score difference. So yeah, if Christand manages to pull into first, Christand would be first overall. This is kind of wild. Red Panda already with 3 calls.
Wow.
People have to be absolutely shaking in their boots. But Imakal did discard a green dragon early and it didn't get called. Question is, are you feeling lucky? Will you discard another green dragon? The rest of them are all in the wall.
Yeah, he's waiting on the 9 of bamboo and the 4 of characters. This is currently 2 Han. White dragon, red dragon.
Yeah, there's all sort of other Yaku that exist as well, right? Not even just 3 dragons. You could have half flush here, which is a big hit. You could have
all triplets. Oh wait, not all triplets. There was a sequence called.
Yeah, you could have a outside hand. You have Chanta.
Could have Dora 2. 2
yeah,
1 of
you
circle.
can always have Dora 2 or even Dora 3 waiting on like a pair of something else. Like not going to go for the pwn weight, the triplet weight. I'm gonna go for the wider 2/5 weight here. Maybe Bobrick will discard another 2 of 5 after discarding a 5.
Yeah, because the 5 did just pass. So even though the 4-man did come out, you might think that he, you know, had the 4 and discarded it. It's now, you know, completely different. Like they might think that he discarded the 4 and is now waiting on a half flush.
Right.
So the 5, yeah, the 2, here it is. It comes out.
Good call. Good call.
It's going to be 2,000 points. Not a massive win for Red Panda, but, you know, it is what he needs in order to stay in the lead here, especially against Imakal.
Yeah.
Now we're moving on to Self 1.
I think by current standings, Bobrick is winning the whole thing if it ended like this. With his 2nd place score. Maybe not, but I think so.
Now in South 1, Imakal looking to make some more points here.
Yeah,
He's getting a nice hand. Half flush with 2 value triplets.
That's right.
East and red.
And Adora as well. And brings it up to 5 if Imakal could find one more on somewhere. Hanuman
Morph
would
draw.
be huge, but honestly, even the Mangan's enough.
I mean, yeah, I believe the 12,000 point hand here is just enough to take first overall.
It's enough.
Mhm.
But there is a
Of course, having a bigger lead is always nice, but
Wow!
wow! The North draw into the 7 draw. How lucky is that? However,
Back to back.
there's only 3 4s left. All the 7s are taken.
You know,
oh my
I'll
god! But he
take
finds the sumo.
I'll
He just
take
finds
it.
it.
And I'm a cow after that disastrous first game is projected to win the entire tournament right now. What a comeback.
Wow! Those draws were back to back to back.
Yeah.
No stopping.
It was a
that dealer
sumo, right?
Mangan.
So it's 3 good draws in a row. 3 self draws in a row. The North is not easy to find, and the 7 so is also not easy to find. Those are 2 difficult weights. And then the third one, oh, if you have 2, why not 1 more? Make it 3. What does it say? People love 3s, right? People love to make things in sets of 3. So why not draw 3 instead of just 2?
Ooh, Bobrick here though has a very nice hand.
Yeah,
Cutting up.
Bobrick gets this close. It's an absolute monster. Open, it's still pretty good if
Still
Bobrick
amazing,
can
yeah.
get the triplet of South, since Bobrick is the South player and it's South round for double South.
This is
It's
currently just 1 away for Bobrick.
yeah.
Could be, yeah, Red Dragon, double South, half flush.
Yeah, if you're looking at Bobrick, who's known to do a closed tempai, a shadow tempai, you could look at a Hanuman on a closed hand. Just a Red Dragon, half flush for 3. I guess that is only a manga, but if he gets the set of South, the triplet of South, then it's a Hanuman closed. But you Richi this, and you're looking at Baimon or San Baimon if you get lucky.
Oh, but Kristen did draw the last South, so I don't know if he's gonna be dropping that one.
Yeah, and this is the last 1 pin, so Bobrick does make the call here. Finds Tempai. This Tempai isn't even waiting for the South, but I'm sure Bobrick would call the South if it came out. So it's only gonna be 3 Han, but it's still reasonable.
And there's always ways to upgrade here. You can draw the 2, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7. They'll
Yes.
kind of help you out in different ways.
Yeah, a lot of ways. Not too many ways to increase the value. I guess there's Red
Other
Dragon
than pawning the
Con.
South.
Yeah, other than
There's
calling
also
South.
all triplets if you draw the 5
That's
and
true.
then pawn.
That's not bad. I didn't
Somehow.
see it, but all triplets is not that far away.
I'm
Okay,
about-
Cal can call now. Yeah.
Yeah, go for the all simples.
Yeah, just
Perhaps.
speed up his hand. I would do it. If these are 2 different difficult weights. I mean, maybe I'm a Cal is biased because he had 2 difficult weights last time and just drew them back to back, but
Oh, there it is.
I would snap that up. Yep. I'm a Cal is snapping it up. There's the Dora. Oh, no fear. Bobrick just going in. Hiding behind his teddy bear. If you gotta do something dangerous, clutch your teddy bear for courage.
And I'm
Works
just waiting
out.
on that 7 pin. It's a small hand, but it will diffuse the bomb that is Bobrick's hand.
That's true. It also gives Imakawa a re-deal, another dealer turn, which is also big. Red Panda just 1 away from his own hand to try and come back in this last game to maintain his overall position in this tournament. Finds it, and it's big
There it
too,
is.
it's red. No need to Reachy, but point-wise might be worth it. Goes for
I
it.
mean, he does need those points.
Yeah.
So 2 players are waiting on the 7 of circles. 3 of them in the wall. Who will get it?
Yeah, that's the wrong 7. That's the wrong 7 there. But it's still scary. Yeah, too scary for Bobrick. Especially with the 8 so being discarded by Red Panda for Ricci. Didn't want any of that 7 so.
Oh, the 3 pin comes out right after he folds.
It's so brutal. He might go back around. He might come back around and call it and... Nah, he's not doing it. He really thought
So
about it though.
unfortunate.
He thought about it a lot. But you gotta stick to your guns at that point. Otherwise you have a really bad 310 weight and everything. Doesn't feel that good.
It's just gonna be a fold from Bobrick. There's still 3 7 pins out there. One of them is drawn by Kristen now. So 2 left. And Red Panda here really does have a potential for another one draw by Kristen. Stealing all the wins away from these 2 players.
I wonder if it's even worth it for Kristen to call. Well, Bobrick got Tempai back. There's no Yaku, but I mean, it's points.
It's Tempai.
Yeah.
Definitely take those.
Kristen with the Dora to stay safe here. Kristen not going to make Tempai after this, after that discard.
Oh, and there it is, the last copy of the 7. Red Panda finds it. Richitsumo Tanyo with 1 Dora is gonna be 7,900, basically a Mangan.
Yeah, that was basically Red Panda's last chance. I don't see him getting another draw there. So
and now
just
we're
in
looking.
time.
I think the gap has closed again now because Amika was the dealer, so he did pay 4,000 of those points. So that's a 12,000 point difference. I believe now Red Panda's back in the lead, possibly?
Yeah, Red Panda's definitely ahead of iMacau. The difference, really the only person that's close is... Well, I mean, iMacau is close, but the only person that might be ahead is Bobrick. Bobrick is in second to the 4th. Second to 4th is 20-point difference. So that would make up for 20 of the difference, and then it's 7.2 on the board there. So they would need a 7.2 point. Yeah, it's not quite there. So you're right. Red Panda, despite being last in this game, is still first overall in the standings. But it is so close right now. Like I wouldn't even bother.
Red Panda is also really close to overtaking 2nd and 3rd, and if he does, then the math all changes because for Amaka to win, Red Panda needs to be last.
Yep. Red Panda gets 2,000 points, jumps out of last into 3rd, and all of a sudden the Uma is not minus 15 anymore, it's just minus 5. That makes it a lot harder for everyone else to come back. That's why it's such a close game right now.
Yeah, a 2,000 point win here for Red Panda is essentially a 12,000 point win overall because of the bonus placement, right? Although it's only soft 2. Anything can still happen.
Yeah, I mean, Kristen, who's currently lowest in overall placement, it still has a dealer turn. In fact, Kristen has the final dealer turn, which is the most important, the biggest one. So it looks like we are set up for an exciting match here. All the pieces have come together.
So in this South 2 round, first round of Bobrick's dealer, currently 1 away. Just needs that 4 of bamboo ideally.
Kristen can feel the closeness, can feel the tension in the game. Going for a really tiny hand here. Just 2 Han, but make it fast. Get through. Keep Red Panda in last and maybe get yourself to 2nd place. Then you have a good shot at winning the whole thing. Because Kristen is 3rd overall, but it's not much of a difference between Kristen and Bobrick. Just over 5 points.
Yeah, if Kristen can somehow get first, and I mean, this hand is very nice to take.
Yes.
It's not a huge hand, but you know, it does help you get closer and closer to the lead, and it does put you in 2nd. So.
Yeah, I think if Red Panda stays last, I think a lot of situations even 2nd would be enough for Kristen, but Kristen needs more points than this still.
So now it's Red Panda's dealer. The Dora is the green dragon. A very interesting Dora here because whoever can get a triple up, a pawn of the green, will be able to win a Mangan. And that could definitely change the outcome of the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Nice draw here.
It's one of the most debated things is at what point do you discard the honor Dora, especially when it's not a guest wind but actually a Yaku high honor, one that you can just triple and still win the hand. And Red Panda says that point is right now. Red Panda sees the efficiency, has a bunch of inside tiles and wants the redeal. Doesn't think fishing for the big Dora points is worth it, because the answer also matters on your point placement, right? If you need a lot of points, you're going to hold it a lot later into the hand than if you don't need any points at all. But
well, I think also there's just a huge potential that someone else can triple up if you just leave it for later, right? And then if they Tsumo a manga and 12,000 points, 8,000 points, you lose 4,000. That's a 12,000 point swing,
Yes.
and it really puts a dent in your chances of coming back.
Yes.
Quite complicated.
Yeah, I'm honestly wondering if I'm a cow would call tiles here. There's the Tanya, the all simples. There's also the 3, 4, 5 mixed triples in that hand. So it's 2 Han. But 2 Han does not quite do it. However, stopping Red Panda, like if it's a direct or a sumo. Okay, sumo still wouldn't quite get there yet, but it would stop Red Panda's dealer turn, which might be enough, and then you just try and get the rest of it in South 4. And that's a big draw. That's a big draw for I'm a cow.
Red Panda is just currently 1 away right now. Hopefully drawing that 5 or 7 of circles to get this Pingfu.
Ooh, what is that? It's a red 5!
A red 5 for Amakal.
Interesting decision here. Definitely looks like he's going for calling. Discarding the 7-8 over the 3-5-5. Looking for that mixed triple over the higher efficiency of the 7-8 two-sided weight. Oh, no, Krista.
But Krista on the standby first, waiting on the 3-6 dots. Who's gonna win it first?
So many decisions here that are being made so quickly.
Macau really wants that 4-mon or the 4-pin.
And here's the downside of discarding the Dora so early. Amicao could have a Paradora right now, but honestly, if Amicao did have the Paradora, it might make his hand a lot slower. Like, how's he gonna find the last tile?
Being able to pawn the 8 of circles or pawn the 5 of characters really speeds up the hand, but
yeah. And of
we'll
course,
have to see.
Bobrick gives up the 3 so late. Red Panda gets Tempai, doesn't have to reach.
Yeah, and it's on the red 5 too, so does add some value to the hand.
And there's the Tempai.
Waiting on 2 5 of characters, however, there's none of them to be drawn, and we'll have to get it from someone else.
Yeah, so Red Panda, Kristand, and I'm a cow all in contention here. Bobrick is very close as well. 1-mon. Reach it!
So here's the thing, even though, I mean, this hand is a good possible, like, they don't know, right?
Right.
That all the 5s are held, but the thing is, no one knows what Red Panda has, so they might just fold here and end up giving Red Panda the ability to repeat.
Yeah, Kristand is out. I'm a cow is out, at least for now. Bobrick really thinking about whether he should go in. Is he gonna go it? No, he's not gonna go straight in. He's gonna play slightly safe with the
he's gonna go for that all simples.
Yeah. Only 10 tiles to make this come around though. That's not Tempai. Oh, but that is Tempai. What a draw.
5 on the other circle. The other circle's a safe against the dealer, and it will deal in to Bobrick.
Oh, what a turn of events. The only player who wasn't Tempai at that point wins the hand. And it just completely upsets the point positions as well. Red Panda is still in 4th though.
So is this enough for Bobrick right now? 2nd place, Red Panda in 4th. Yeah. That's a 20-point difference.
Everybody is on the cusp.
Enough.
Everybody's on the cusp. Bobrick needs a couple thousand. I'm a cow needs a couple thousand. Well, not a couple, like a few thousand. 4,000-ish, both of them. Red Panda needs...
down to the wire.
Yeah, Red Panda just needs like 4,000 to get out of last, and that'll be enough for him. And Kristand needs more, but Kristand also has the dealer turn to make up for it. So Kristand can do it with dealer repeats. So it's anybody's game.
Literally anybody could win right now, guys. They could not get closer than this.
Yeah.
Who's it gonna be? The door is the east, so it will be the C-twin for Kristand. This could be a huge hand for him. Currently 2 away. This is so tense.
Yeah. Right on the cusp here. Red Panda is so fast to Tempai here, though. It could just shut it all down. But is it going to be enough to get out of last? Like, it's not even guaranteed Pinfu right now. Which is Richie only. Richie only doesn't get Red Panda out of last, which is interesting. But if Red Panda has calculated all the points out properly, Red Panda should know that even if he doesn't get out of last, he'll still end up in first. But that's if he's calculated his points properly.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It's a tough situation. I'm a cow with 4 or 5 pens. With the red 5 included,
wild. No con though, because 5556.
This is not even one away though. Yeah.
Oh, first Tempai is the dealer. Just instant slam, instant reach.
It's not the best weight in the world, but you know, you just take it. You just gotta go with it.
Yeah, the improvements are not that easy on this hand, so I can see why he reached, especially with a 1
Oh,
pin.
but Red Panda is Ricci as well. It's Tempai as well. I don't know if he'll take the Ricci though.
Yeah, this is... Ugh. I mean, if he discards the 5, it deals in. If he discards the 4, it doesn't deal in. But how are you supposed to tell which is which? It doesn't even take Tempai. You're right.
Yeah.
Just not dealing in.
Figures. So he can draw any of 3, 4, 6, 7 mon of characters to get Tempai again because it will be a pair and it will be a 2-sided way with Pinfu.
Oh, the 5!
He finds the 5!
Oh, the 1! What? But the 4 is so dangerous here. Can you really go with the 4 fruity 10 even? I don't think so.
The 4-10 3-sided way.
I mean, it's possible. Oh, risks it. Doesn't reach though. But now it's fruity 10.
Stama.
Yeah, now it's fruity 10.
Unable to run here.
Yeah. But if he gets it, it's enough, right? If he's calculated his score properly, he doesn't have to get out of last. He just needs to stop these guys from getting the extra points over on him.
So wait, how many points would this would be enough to get out of last? Actually, if it's Sumo's.
Or not Sumo Pinfu is
Sumo
yeah.
Pinfu,
There's a Richie stick.
Because there's a Richie stick, right?
Yes.
So that would be enough. There's a con now.
That is
Dora Tuso.
That is a wild con.
It's a Dora for the dealer.
It's Tempai.
And a Richie on the 7 of circles.
But
There's
that
left
is
to be
a
drawn.
wild con.
Oh my goodness.
It kind of throws your weight out the window, huh?
Oh, the 5
But you can't win for it. It's the 5 so. The 5 so is the one that we're looking for. Of course, if the 5 mon goes to Red Panda, it's fine.
Oh, this is not 4-10 anymore. This is not 4-10
Oh,
anymore.
it is. You're right. The weight switch.
He can run.
Yeah, we might see the 5 come out again.
Oh my goodness.
An 8!
Oh,
An 8!
Yes! That's it. Red Panda wins the final hand. It's a Pinfu Shadow Tempai for 1,000 plus Richie stick. Off Imako.
I mean, what
Is this
can
gonna
you
be
do?
enough, guys?
You reach it, you do your best.
Wow, what a game! Oh my goodness, this tournament series has been wild. Coming down to the wire. I'm not even still 100% positive who won. We'll have to check.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully the players are more confident in their number crunching because it's gonna be up to them. But we're getting the final results. They're being hammered out here, and we will have them very shortly. Ooh.
Wow, what a wild last game. Imako finishes in first. I mean, we'll still have to determine who is first, second, third, and fourth.
Right. That does also matter. Ooh. What a game.
What a game, what a game.
Glad that everyone was here for this one.
If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like. That was some incredible mahjong that we just witnessed. That might have been one of the hypest final games I've ever seen in these tournaments.
Official standings are in. We're going to go to the standings. Drum roll, please. Who's our big winner? It is indeed. Go right ahead, Irie.
It's Red Panda. Congratulations, Red Panda, for finishing first. Bobrick will take second. I'm a cow, almost at ±0. in third place, and Chrisstand at -24.5 will be in fourth. That will be the final standings of Kirin Season 3, the Catfood Bowl Major. Amazing stuff. Congratulations to all the players. You played some amazing Mahjong. Red Panda will be taking home that trophy and that title.
Woo! Congratulations to all our players for sure. Red Panda, the first place player here, clutching it out. Woo! I think Red Panda won the aptly named Tumbling Red. If I was, no, they won the Sweet Wonders. It would have been thematic if they'd won Tumbling Red, but they won Sweet Wonders. But then again here in the major, the invitational from the winners of the other minors, Red Panda collects the first prize just over Bobrick. It could have gone any direction in that last hand. Bobrick coming up in second, I'm a cow in third, and Chrisstand in fourth.
Wow, once again, congratulations, Red Panda, and I do believe we will get a chance to talk with the champion, a little interview.
All right, well, I believe Irie will be taking that over as we move over to speak to a Red Panda Master. Red Panda Master.
Yes. Hi, welcome in, Red Panda. How are you? How are you feeling after that crazy, super tense game?
Yeah, feeling really energized. That whole last was really crazy.
Were you calculating the scores, like how close you were? The I'm a cow situation. Tell me how it was.
Yeah, I think I knew that any win would get me. Any win in all last would confirm it for me. So it was just trying to win that hand.
And that final match had a rocky start. You ended up dealing into that very quick dealer 4 and 30 from I'm a cow.
Yeah, I was. I think I had a pretty big lead going into the third Hanchan, so I was trying to play it more cautious, but I feel like that like you can't really do much about the turn 2 call. Don't think there was a way to dodge that dealing.
Yeah, sometimes it just happens, but still, you overcame that massive point difference, and you ended up taking first overall in the final Hanchan. And tell me about the other games. How do you think were you happy with your performance?
Yeah, I think I played pretty well. I guess besides that all last with the Furry 10 Sanmanchan, the most interesting choice for me was the Fever Sanmanchan that I declared Ricci with. I think I had I had a triplet of a red dragon, and I had I have option of Dama Mongon for 258 weight.
Yeah.
And I was already in the lead, but I chose to greet it with Ricci because I thought that a few players would be forced to push because of the format. So I wanted to get that Hanmon chance.
Yeah, so you wanted to like just get a further lead just to like help you have a higher chance of taking first overall?
Yeah, just trying to build the lead for the last game was the idea.
I see. I mean, yeah, you did play really well, and of course you did take first. So congratulations once again. I remember I in the previous tournament I interviewed you as well, so it's kind of like you're going back to back here. So congratulations on that as well. And I remember last time you talked about the group that you play with, right?
Yeah. So I'm in a group called Snake Shack where we do a lot of studying with the AIs, like Maga
and Maka.
Mortal, and Maka too is a newer one. I think they released that within a year maybe. But yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations once again, Red Panda. And you're going to be getting that trophy and that title. And congratulations on all the glory, too, of taking the first place on the Catfood Bowl Major, right? The Kirin Season 3. So
Yeah, thank you.
awesome. So yeah, I think that might be it for the interview now, and we'll keep.
All right. Once
So here-
again.
Go ahead, Tips.
Yeah, once again, a Red Panda on the interview microphone. Looks like his studying has paid off. You know, I know he does a lot of analysis, a lot of studying as well, and should have just trusted that he had the numbers right. There was no doubt. There was no doubt. He knew he didn't even need to make it out of
He knew.
last. So he took the win and collected the victory. Our
And in the
champion.
end, you know, he never cracked under the pressure. You know, he didn't reach you with the 410, and instead he drew the improvement to back out of the 410 and end up winning the hand that won him the entire thing. So that was a huge play.
Yeah, that was actually, it's a good thing you mentioned it. By switching the 3 out for the 6 that he drew, you know, he wouldn't have been able to win on that 8-mon had he not switched it out. So huge decision there. Huge thing. And, you know, at some point it almost feels like second nature, but you gotta remember at some point that has to run through your head. You have to remember to make those kind of moves. And you had pointed it out too. It was like, oh, he's not Furiten. And it mattered. It absolutely mattered at the end of the game.
I mean, especially in these like, tense situations, it's really hard not to crack under the pressure. And, you know, huge props. That takes some mental fortitude,
Yeah.
the discipline.
Yep, but just as it took some good decisions for him, it also took him having to draw that 6-mon there, right? Maybe just drawing 2, 5, or 8 would have been better. He could have just won straight up, but drawing the 6-mon is also a lucky find. And we have one more lucky find, lucky draw for our viewers here. Now that you've watched all the way through the tournament, right? You've thumbs up the stream and subscribed to the official channel. We've got one more fortune charm for our viewers. One lucky Janshi will be drawn. You'll have 30 days of fortune to tell me who was your favorite player from the tournament. Who made the most impressive moves? You know, we had Red Panda's opportunity to explain his moves to you in the interview. Our other players unfortunately did not get that chance, but if you've been watching closely, if you've been listening to our commentary, you should have seen the genius of these plays, the different styles, you know, the wild aggression of Macau, the con-heavy Bobrick hitting 4 Dora with a 4-mon, and Christand with that Kuro outfit playing a calm, collected kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it just doesn't pan out that way, but I could see the intellect in Christand's decisions there.
Honestly, I don't think I remember Kristan dealing into any like major hands. I think it's like a very disciplined defensive gameplay.
Yeah.
And, you know, some good hands, but sometimes you just don't get those mulligans, right?
With the amount of Dora that Christand discarded, I was mentioning the 2 Celestials, Amicao and Christand. It felt like sometimes the Dora would just fly out and you said, wow, is that what you're supposed to do? The really high levels. They just throw the Dora.
I do find it really interesting that even, you know, 2 Celestials, the highest rank in Mahjong Soul, have different playstyles. Slightly different. I think that's awesome, honestly.
Yep, and so we have our winner from the lucky draw, Chun Maru. Chun Maru is a fan of Macau, was most impressed with Macau's play in the Kirin Season 3 tournament today. Congratulations, Chun Maru. You will be receiving a 30-day fortune charm if you make sure to contact Mahjong Soul by email, mjs.cs@yo-star.com, on screen right there. Don't forget your Mahjong Soul friend ID in that email, as well as the screenshot of your YouTube profile page. Congratulations. And once again,
And also,
yes.
just a quick reminder for Alj, the previous winner of the previous lucky draw, and also Lara, who won with the 9 gates, the Aquaman who would see this tournament. Make sure to send those details over to mjs.cs@yostar.com as well, just to make sure that everyone gets their prizes.
Yep, that's right. Make sure to do it. I know you were probably busy watching the tournament, but if you want the fortune charm, you gotta get it done. And for all of those who weren't able to be lucky in the draw, of course, you can still win some prizes from the gift code. Those are available for everyone. We'll bring it back again in case you missed it. YLN4C8QMZ. And you can see you've got to open it on the browser client, click the settings cog, click the others tab, and then click the gift code tab and type it in there. The code expires tomorrow. So 12 a.m. UTC -7 time. So you don't have too much time. I guess it's tomorrow for some of us on the East Coast. It's in 2 days time-ish, but about 24 hours. And as mentioned on stream, please use capitals. Note that the codes are in capital letters.
And again, only on the browser client. So make sure to, open up your browser. So maybe not on the mobile client. Very important.
Yes, and of course, with all of these gifts, with all of these codes, all of your Jade and the summon tickets from the current High Seas expedition, don't forget that Liang is about to end. She is a limited time exclusive character, so if you're not able to roll on her banner now, you might not get another chance. Her banner is ending soon, so don't miss your last chance. She is one of the exclusive characters. By bonding her to 5 stars, you get that portrait image, you get those decorations, the Richie and the winning decorations, you get the animated outfit as well, just through bonding her. And of course, she is probably the only limited character, I think, with 2 animated outfits. Both the one from bonding her, as well as the one in the store. So don't miss the last chance to get the dignified snake dragon lady there, Liang. And here she is again, helping us to count out the stream. Of course, this has been brought to you by Reach Mahjong of New York. Luke Morgan has been producing in the back there with Saikoisen Japan Pro Mahjong. And of course, you can reach him at iPlayRichi.com to see what he's up to. I've been the producer and MC Tips and Tricks here on the mic, alongside Irie from Iron TV and Tenhote. We've had some event management from Hammer Girl Anime Mahjong here, and of course, everyone's favorite pets, Ridley, Jack, Roger, Charlie, Ray, Winston, Sunny, Bishop, Peppercorn, Giles, Kiki, Yuffie, Jake, Donnie, Finn, the cat that used to live at Konada's, Nui, Lucy, Pietra, Yuma, Nemo, Hazel, Sausage, Dusty, Digger, Katya, Kotick, Deuce, Tips and Fish, Hazelnut, Samson, Ezekiel, Funny Pet, Night Market Cat, Leia, Luke, Ren, Chico, Candy, Frodo, Misha, Samus, Winnie. Whew. And thanks once again to the developers, Catfood Studios, publisher Yostar, and you for coming out to the tournament, watching, and keeping our community as vivacious and alive as it is here on this late night.
Thank you guys so much. Have a good night.
All right. And as you heard Irie, you heard myself. Tennote, are you still with us?
Absolutely, all the time.
All right, signing out. Tennote, give us all a goodbye, and we will say till next time.
just remember, the Mahjong community is growing in the West, and you guys are a big part of it. So get out there and keep playing Mahjong. We'll see you next time.